This is the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, where you will see Super Bowl 16 5 weeks from today. But for the Detroit Lions, being introduced now, and their fans, today is their Super Bowl. The standings tell the story. It's all or nothing for the Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The winner goes on, the loser goes home, so there is plenty at stake for people like Tampa Bay's Doug Williams, a renowned big play quarterback who can strike at any time, any place on the field. And for people like Detroit's quarterback, Eric Hipple, who emerged as a take-charge leader of this strong Lion offense. A compelling factor is this vocal and enthusiastic crowd, which has spurred on the Lions to a perfect 7-0 record here at the Silverdome. So there it is, on the line today for one of these teams, the NFC Central Division Championship.
CBS Sports presents the best of the National Football League. The National Football Conference. Today, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Detroit Lions.
The Buccaneers won the division title 2 years ago. The Detroit Lions haven't won a division crown since 1957. They were in the playoffs, though, in 1970, and that's the backdrop. As we welcome you indoors to the Silverdome, everyone, I'm Dick Stockton, and this is Johnny Morris, and you can just feel that home crowd electricity here, John.
Yes, I think analysts are supposed to be kind of cool, but I got to admit, I'm excited. It's electric here. 80,000 fans in the Superdome, and it's one of those kind of games. The winner take all. The winner takes the title, the loser gets nothing. And really, in a sense, that's kind of the American way.
That's the way it should be, right? If you could pinpoint the key factors of this game, can you boil it down? What would it be, John?
I would say for Tampa Bay, it's intimidation. They like to pound on running backs, great running backs, like Billy Sims has 1,361 yards. Tampa Bay will give you the short pass. They'll give you the little running room, and then they come up and react and try and break your spirit by really pounding on you. So that's going to be one key. But the real key to this football game is, as you mentioned earlier, the quarterback situation. You have Doug Williams and you have Eric Hipple, two quarterbacks who have had fine years and two quarterbacks who can make the big plays for you. They can have a busted play and make something out of it, and that's what's going to make this game exciting.
All right, John, and there is Ed Murray, who has been superbly consistent for the Lions this year and kicked that field goal against the Dallas Cowboys that started them on their way. Kicking off, and there you see James Owens to the left and the rookie John Holt to the right. Tampa Bay in white, the Lions in their Honolulu blue. Capacity crowd of over 80,000 here. And two hot teams. The Lions, who have won 4 out of 5. Tampa Bay, 3 out of 4. At the 5. And James Owens, the speedster, gets it out to the 25-yard line. So let's pick up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on offense. We'll be talking a lot about Doug Williams this afternoon. He is the quarterback, but he has a big cast around him. James Wilder, all-purpose fullback, a rookie. Owens, the speedster, and two good outside men in Theo Bell and Kevin House. And on the line, boy, did he pass protect so well. Sanders, Snell, Wilson, Robertson, Hanna with Jimmy Giles, a deep threat at tight end. 1st and 10 at the 25. Out of the eye now. In motion is Wilder. And Williams going to the air with protection on 1st down, and the pass is complete to Theo Bell, just short of a 1st down, a 9-yard pickup. So let's pick up the Detroit Lions defensively right now. Maxie Vaughn is the general on the sidelines. Purifoy, Joe Ehrman starting at left tackle. And William Gay moves to right end in place of the injured Bubba Baker. Cobb, Fantetti, and the veteran White at linebacker, an improved group. And the secondary, Smith, Hunter, Oldham, and Allen. 2nd and less than a yard. And Owens has a 1st down for Tampa Bay short of the 40-yard line. A tackle made by William Gay.
We may see a tendency here very early Doug Williams threw on first down. Tampa Bay hasn't done that too much this season, and it worked, and got him into a good second down situation. As you know, the Lions are #1 against the rush, so Tampa Bay has to consider that. At the same time, the Lions also have 47 sacks, so Doug Williams has got a problem here to attack this Detroit Lion defense.
Good matchup because Tampa Bay has allowed the fewest sacks in the NFC, just 19. First and 10 at the 39-yard line. Steve Furness has replaced Joe Ehrman. In motion, the tight end, Giles, but Owens goes to the left side and breaks a tackle and gets to the 45-yard line. A pickup of 6, and Doug English, number 78, the right tackle, makes the stop. James Owens, acquired from San Francisco for Johnny Davis. And Owens has been the man that John McKay has wanted, has that great speed, finally playing his right position, John.
Yes, he's been all over the lot since he came into the NFL, but as you said, speed is the key to give the Tampa Bay running attack that little extra dimension, and Owens has it. As you know, he finished 6th in the hurdles in the Olympics.
2nd and 4 at the 45. Back in the wing, back and in motion is Giles. And the pitch goes to Owens. And Owens is stopped for a loss. Ken Fantetti, second-round draft choice in his 3rd year, and one of the hardest hitters you'll see, made the tackle. Fantetti makes the stop, and there you see Gary Cobb, his running mate at linebacker. Now you see why they're tops against the rush.
And they've only allowed 100 yards a game. That's not too bad. So we have a 3rd down situation, and Tampa Bay has been only 32% effective in this situation. 3rd down for the first downs.
Hector Gray, number 26, free agent rookie, is the nickel back now for the Lions. 3rd and 6, Giles in motion. Williams has enough time. He finds Giles, and Giles may have the first down with his second effort. Ray Oldham, the strong safety, was there to try to prevent it, but I believe Tampa Bay has the first down.
Well, that was just a determination by the Lions defense, because Giles got right down to the first down marker, came in motion. You're going to see Oldham and Cobb get a hold of him, and Giles tried to turn around to get that extra half a yard. He knew where that first down marker was, and he's a big, powerful tight end at 245, but the Lions persisted and stopped him. However, it was his progress did make the first down, so that's important for Tampa Bay, because I think who gets on top of this game is going to make a big difference.
Jimmy Giles, all-time leading receiver for Tampa Bay. First and 10, just short of midfield. Owens slips and falls, no gain. Fantetti was there to make sure, but yeah, I think you got a glimpse of the acceleration of James Owens. As Johnny mentioned, 6 in the high hurdles in the Montreal Olympics. He played defensive back, wide receiver for San Francisco, and John McKay says that if Owens had not been taken by the 49ers on the pick right before Tampa Bay, he would have grabbed him.
And the last time he played in the Silverdome, it was not for Tampa Bay, it was for the San Francisco 49ers, and he had a 101-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. As you look at John McKay, he's got to be nervous today.
2nd and 10. Williams up the middle, and he finds his tight end, Jimmy Giles, and a first down, a fumble. And the Lions, I believe, may have recovered. Let's wait. No, the whistle blew. Ray Oldham is complaining with the linesman, saying that the fumble, but the whistle had blown, and it is a first down, Tampa Bay. 37-yard line, and they are moving.
And this stadium has gone wild. The noise is actually deafening. As you can see, Giles will come across the middle, and he has a big hole. He just turns around, takes the hole, and goes up the field. And let's judge for ourselves. Was he down? It looked like he dropped the ball slightly before he hit the turf, and should have been Detroit's ball.
So Tampa Bay, with the crowd echoing their disappointment at the call, has a first and 10 now at the 37-yard line. Kevin House wide left, Theo Bell to the right. Giles in motion. Into the air again goes Williams, and this ball is almost intercepted. Wayne Smith, the left cornerback, had it but couldn't hold it. And he was in a great opportunity, John, to pick it off and gain some yardage back.
Yes, he played the ball very well. Came back, had the interception, and he has Wayne Smith. That's the thing about these cornerbacks for the Lions. James Hunter, Wayne Smith, they'll take chances. They'll go to intercept the short hitch or the out or the hook in. And Doug Williams knows that, and we're liable to see some hook and goes, stops and goes, short outs and ups, because the Lions are a gambling defense.
Doug Williams has completed over 60% of his passes to go over 50% for the season in his last 3 games. Second and 10. He dumps it off to Owens. Owens has blockers ahead. And James Owens has a first down and out of bounds at the 23-yard line. James Hunter drove him out of bounds. But for Tampa Bay, Ray Snell, their left guard, was blocking out ahead.
Hunter knocked him out of bounds. You talk about a screen that sets up wide open. All the linemen got out there in front. Everybody was to the other side of the field. There's Ray Snell, number 72, out front. He's got to take care of Hunter there. He knocks Hunter out of the play, and Owens is able to get up and get some yards and a first down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on this first drive.
This is what Tampa Bay didn't do until the Green Bay game, and that is mix up their plays and use the run more. First and 10 at the 23. Buccaneers have averaged 26 points a game in the last 3. Doug English. Jerry Eckwood carried the ball only once last week. He was out with a groin injury. He is the leading rusher for Tampa Bay, and he has scored 2 touchdowns. Did not start this game, and is a good outside threat coming out of the backfield, but he doesn't have the speed of a James Owens.
But he has pretty good speed. One of the keys to the improvement of the running game for Tampa Bay has been James Wilder and his blocking. As John McKay says, he doesn't mind the crowd. We're going to win, he says.
First and 10, make it second and 5 at the 19-yard line. Williams looking down the middle and throws that one low, intended for Jimmy Giles. Jimmy Giles, who really was the offense for Tampa Bay 2 years ago when they won the NFC Central Crown and went all the way to the conference finals before losing to Los Angeles.
That last time he wanted to go to Kevin House, but the Lions went into his zone and double-team House and messed up Williams on his plans. As a play comes in, they use the shuttling guards to bring the plays in.
Monty Clark, and I'm sure that Don Shula today is rooting for Monty Clark as Monty was rooting for Don to get Miami into the AFC Eastern title. Kevin House in motion, and on the pitch, a fumble. Wilder fumbles, and Detroit apparently has recovered. Let's wait. No, Wilder picked it up. Wilder, it looked as if Joe Ehrman had picked up the loose ball, but Wilder recovered. You know, Tampa Bay has lost only 1 fumble as far as the backs all year, and that was last week.
That play was busted up because of the fact that the Lions put that blitz on and had everybody coming up the middle, and I'm sure that Williams audibled for the pitch out, and he did not hang on to the ball, but he got the lucky bounce, and Wilder got it back for Tampa Bay.
So 2 close calls here, and it is now 4th down, and Bill Capice, who has been a hot and cold kicker, he kicked a 49-yarder, will attempt a 40-yarder right here. Larry Swider, the punter, is holding. 40-yard attempt by Capice is up. It is good. And so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who said the best way to quiet down this crowd is to get on the board first, have done just that with a 40-yard field goal by Bill Capice, formerly with Houston and played his college ball at Florida State. Bill Capice, who is 14 for 23 and a big one to put Tampa Bay on the board.
Christmas card was sent to you by the people at Miller High Life. Merry Christmas.
Going to put the scoring drive on after.
Kicking off for Tampa Bay, number 3, Bill Capice.
Bill Capice will kick off for Tampa Bay. Tom Blanchard was put on injured reserve. Garo Yepremian was released, and Capis came on. There's Robbie Martin, who's only 5'8", free agent rookie from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He fields it on the 1-yard line. And a good move by Robbie Martin as he gets just shy of the 25-yard line. Jim Obradovich makes the tackle. So the Lions will go on offense following that 23-yard kickoff return. And we've talked about Eric Kipple, who has really made things happen here in Detroit. Billy Sims, the third leading rusher in the NFL. Dexter Bussey, who alternates at fullback. Leonard Thompson with the speed, and Freddie Scott with the moves outside. Baldishweiler, Elias, Fowler, Bollinger, Dorney up front with David Hill, the tight end. And a lot of the Lions think Dorney should have made All-Pro. First and 10 at the 24. Hill goes in motion. And here's Dexter Bussey. Hard driving to the 32-yard line and picks up about 8 yards. Right now, he is the all-time leading Lion rusher, breaking Altie Taylor's record, but knows that Billy Sims isn't far behind.
The Lions average 4.7 yards per carry, and that's going to be a factor in this game as you look at the Tampa Bay defensive line. Stalls, Logan, and Selman.
And the linebackers, you won't see a better group of Hawkins, Johnson, Wood, and the sensational rookie Hugh Green. And the secondary, another rookie, John Holt, Mike Washington, Neil Colsey, and Cedric Brown. Vince Thompson, number 38, is in now at fullback, as Monty Clark will alternate the fullbacks with the plays today. And here's one of the patented reverses that the Lions like to use. Leonard Thompson, though, is caught behind the line of scrimmage. He loses a couple of yards on the play and didn't fool anyone on that one.
And you have to give some credit to Dave Stalls, number 65, because he stayed at home and stayed deep enough to bust up the play, but the Lions didn't waste any time. They've run 18 of these throughout the season, and there's Stalls, 65, who forced Thompson to go inside, and that messed up the play, and there was no chance. As you can see, Andy Hawkins in on the tackle, along with number 20, Neil Colsey. So
Leonard Thompson scored on an end around last week, and we have a shaken Lion right now. Amos Fowler, who really is on the spot in this game because Fowler was totally dominated by Dave Logan, the nose tackle for Tampa Bay in their first meeting, which was won by Tampa Bay 28-10 October 4th, and Monty Clark said it was their worst effort of the year for the Lions. We'll be back. Third down and 2 now for the Detroit Lions, with Tampa Bay leading 3-0 on Bill Capis's 40-yard field goal on a drive. 13 plays that consumed nearly 7 minutes in the first series. And Hipple going to the air. Tight end David Hill, first down to the 41-yard line. And Cedric Brown, the free safety, makes the stop. I know David Hill is happier now that Eric Hipple is at quarterback because the Lions are not nearly as conservative as they used to be.
That's right, the play action. Here comes Neil Colsey, 20. He tried to leap up and bat the ball down, but Hill just went out there on what you call a flare pattern for the tight end, got the first down. The Lions are playing for all the marbles. They're not going to go conservative. A lot of times you have teams, as you know, when it's a big game, they turn conservative and go basic. So far this game, we see that the Lions are kind of letting it all hang out.
David Hill, along with Ulysses Norris, the tight ends on this club. First and 10 at the 41, and Hill is in motion. Billy Sims carrying for the first time today. Gets up to the 45-yard line, where Cedric Brown comes up from safety to make the play. The other big game we're looking at, the Green Bay Packers against the New York Jets at Chase Stadium. For an NFL update, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Dick, the Jets are on the board as a result of this blocked punt. Stakowitz of the Packers has a bad snap. Can't get it off. Washington's on it. Kevin Long scores a touchdown. 7-0, Jets on the lead. Back now to Dick Stockton.
All right, Brent, so the Jets have the lead, trying to nail down a wild card berth in the AFC, and if Green Bay loses, the Giants are in. Good second effort. Leroy Selman stopping Dexter Bussey at the 47-yard line.
And Selman.
Billy Sims, who is the third leading rusher, gained 110 yards last week. Has 13 touchdowns to lead the NFC. 13 touchdowns rushing, 15 in all. And he has struggled against Tampa Bay, averaging just over 3 yards a carry in 3 games. So it'll be third down. 3 for the Lions, trailing 7-0 with 4.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Hipple. And a mix-up as both Billy Sims and a wide receiver were downfield and in the same direction, so it'll be incomplete and 4th down.
Well, there was a complete mix-up on that play. Either Sims wasn't deep enough or Thompson should have turned to the outside. At any rate, the Lions are going to be forced to punt. Of course, they have a good punter, Tom Scadini. Look at that average, 43.8.
And he has been named to the Pro Bowl. Theo Bell returning punts. Tampa Bay has not been effective. Their weakest part of their game is the coverage and the kicking game. They've averaged only 6 yards a punt return, and only 3 teams have a lower mark in the NFL. High snap, but Sladany gets it off. And it's picked up by Neil Colsey, the short man, and Colsey runs it out to the 34-yard line. Vince Thompson makes the tackle. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers following a 30-yard punt by Tom Sladany. And now John McKay's team has the ball and the lead with 4:16 remaining in the first quarter. The Buccaneers lead the Lions 3-0.
Tampa Bay, 1st and 10.
One, by the way, 13 plays.
They're going to...
And we're glad to be here.
Yes, we are. So far, it's a little quieter the last few minutes than we anticipated. Of course, Tampa Bay has got the edge in this game so far, and let's see if Doug Williams will throw on 1st down. I think that may be a part of the game plan.
He did it in the first series, and right now he is 4 for 6 for 42 yards, and going a lot more to his backs. Most of his passes last week were to his running backs. House and Theo Bell wide to the left. 1st and 10 at the 34. And in motion, James Wilder the other way. And the screen pass, dangerous, intended for Owens. And that almost might have been picked off, and forcing the play was Ray Oldham. Now on the sidelines for Tampa Bay, they've made a change. Bill Nelson upstairs, now downstairs with McKay. What's the change all about?
Well, if McKay wants to run, he calls it. If he wants a pass, he asks for Bill Nelson to give him the best pass. Now remember, he doesn't call a pass from out of the blue. He's got the card that says for every situation, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 2, whatever the situation might be, and they'll have 3 or 4 to choose from, so they don't pick these passes out of the air. They pick them from a plan that's been developed all week.
2nd and 10 at the 34. Owens trying to go outside. Can't do it. Good pursuit by the Lions. Stan White, number 52, the linebacker, stopping Owens. Stan White is like a second field general for this club. He is a 10-year veteran, was a number 17 draft pick by the Baltimore Colts, and he is Maxie Vaughn's alter ego on the field.
That's right. He actually calls the defenses himself. He doesn't look for the sidelines because Maxie Vaughn said they're 2 minds meshed into one. So that means they spend a few hours watching films and deciding what they're going to do.
Luther Bradley and Hector Gray now 6 defensive backs in there for the Lions. 3rd and 5. In motion, Kevin House. Williams under pressure. He can run. Not this time. Gets the ball away, and no flags have been thrown. William Gay and Doug English. English particularly put the blast on Doug Williams, who was slow getting up. It'll go incomplete.
Boy, was he clobbered, and the fans are a little upset. They feel he should have been called for throwing the ball to avoid a loss at the last second. It was English who got to him first, and then Ehrman came and really popped him, and Doug Williams is down on the turf, and that would, of course, be a big blow to Tampa Bay if he is not able to play. It looks like he got it in the stomach.
You know, coming into this game, John, we heard a lot of the Tampa Bay players talking about how tough and intimidating they were going to be against the Lions, but Doug Williams is a very key factor to this club. As you pointed out, he can win a game on his own.
Yes, well, he's stuck in the pocket for a long time. You know, a lot of quarterbacks would have taken off running before he did. He waited until the last second, waited and waited. And, of course, when a quarterback has the guts to do that, he's going to end up taking some punishment. As we'll take a look at the replay, you see the crisscross by the defensive tackles. Number 78 is Doug English. William Gay. Now, English is on the ground. He's going to get up and get a hold of Doug Williams. And then comes Ehrman, number 74. And then he got really plastered, bent his stomach way back. He may have stretched his stomach muscles.
So Williams is over at the sideline, and of course everyone is interested in his welfare. As Larry Swider, who used to kick for the Detroit Lions, and right now is third in the NFC. Spladany is first in the conference, and when they faced each other, out-kicked Spladany. Robbie Martin, who returned a punt for a touchdown against Minnesota last week in the big rout for the Lions on Saturday. And Martin at the 21. Brings it back to the 33. Jim Obradovich again makes the tackle. And a heated exchange right in the middle. 11-yard return following a 40-yard punt by Larry Swider. So the Lions will take over first and 10. 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter in this all-or-nothing game, as we'll watch Williams on the sidelines with Tampa Bay in front.
Lions first and 10 at Detroit.
Doug Williams apparently is all right. And you look at the Tampa Bay Brain Trust. The second-string quarterback is Chuck Fusina, and a rookie Mike Ford is third string.
You know, Williams has really come on the last 3 or 4 games, hasn't he? 60% of his passes, the Bill rap on him over the first few years of his career has been that his percentage was way down in the 40s and 50s, and now it's up to the 60s.
Right. 2 tight ends in there now, Ulysses Norris and David Hill. Hipple, who is 1 for 2, has a first and 10 at the 33-yard line. In motion, one of those tight ends, Hill. Billy Sims, nothing there. Tampa Bay doesn't do anything fancy on defense, John. They just tell you that they're going to play that 3-4 and send a lot of guys back. They'll give you the underpass, but when you catch the ball, you're going to pay for it.
That's right, and the philosophy of a lot of teams is to run right at that 3-4 straight ahead rather than let those linebackers pursue on the end runs. And so we might see a lot of Sims going off tackle a lot straight ahead rather than so much on the end runs.
Freddie Scott comes back in, and wide receiver, and Amos Fowler is all right. He's back at center. 2nd and 7 at the 36. Hipple, and Leroy Selman hits him from behind, and there's a fumble at the 30. And it is recovered by Detroit. Keith Dorney, the guy that the Lions feel should have been all-pro, and the top man on a very good offensive line from Penn State.
Watch the left of your screen. He beats Carl Balderschweiler, comes from the backside. Hipple doesn't even see him, and he comes straight forward, knocks the ball loose. And fortunately for the Lions, they were able to get it back. But Leroy Selman, even off that 3-man rush, they can apply pressure. He doesn't always get there, but he's always close.
And he's been hurt all year, too, John.
Yes, he's had all kinds of problems. Hamstring, groin, knee.
So it's 3rd and long. Call it 3rd and 11 now at the 31-yard line for the Lions. 1:45 to go, first quarter, 7-0 Tampa Bay. Dexter Bussey coming out of the backfield will be stopped short of a first down. And it was Cecil Johnson and a lot of the secondary, and that's exactly what we're talking about, exemplifying Tampa Bay's defense.
Did you see how they converged on him? He's going to take the punishment. There's Cecil Johnson, who really likes to pop people. He has 140 tackles, but that's the Tampa Bay philosophy. Give you that short one, but you're not going to get the first down. They've got to punt.
So it'll be 4th down, and Spladany will kick from the 25-yard line. Theo Bell is deep for Tampa Bay at the 20. Former Pittsburgh Steeler, now a regular at wide receiver. And Spladany to the 16-yard line. And Bell is ganged up on the 25-yard line. The tackle made by Alvin Hall. Another important game, Philadelphia, St. Louis. For that NFL update, let's rejoin to Brent Musburger in New York.
Dick, the Eagles strike first. 4 yards. Jaworski to Smith. The Jets have just had a touchdown pass called back. They still lead the Packers 7-0. Back to you now in Detroit.
All right, we're watching all of those games today as a big day of football on CBS with the wild card game next Sunday. James Owens and James Wilder on the backs. The lone setback, however, is Owens as Wilder moves up into the wing to the right. Passing on first down to Jimmy Giles. And I believe the Bucs have another first down. No secret, Doug Williams is taking a lot of punishment out there, but he's throwing on first down and connecting, but a holding penalty has been called against Tampa Bay, nullifying it.
And that time, Doug English got a real pop on Doug Williams. He got the pass off, but he took his punishment afterwards and was able to hit the receiver. But with the penalty, it's going to put Tampa Bay deep in their own territory. And once again, for the third straight time, they have gone to the air on a first down situation.
Holding number 72, offense, first down.
Jerry Markbright is the referee. Ray Snell is holding.
You know, Dick, one thing we should mention is that these two teams happen to mess around and end up in a tie, and the Packers beat the Jets. The Green Bay Packers would win the NFC Central Division.
I guess there are a few options, huh? So it's 1st and 20 now, back at the 15. This may be an audible called for on a draw play. Nothing doing. James Owens and William Gay, and this is what the Buccaneers wanted to avoid as Joe Ehrman and Gay combined to make the tackle, and that is to get the crowd going.
Yes, the defense right there was overpowering. They just didn't move anybody on defense. And you see Fantetti stepping up there. There's Ehrman, and there's just too many blue jerseys and no hole to go as William Gay, number 79, makes the tackle to put Tampa Bay into a long passing situation. That's where you can get in trouble.
Final seconds of the first quarter. And 2nd and 20 as Jerry Eckwood replaces James Owens in the Tampa Bay backfield. This is the last play of the first quarter. And pressure. And Eckwood bobbled it, held on, and is stopped at the 17-yard line. Ken Fantetti and the defensive end Dave Purifoy. And there they are, the Honolulu Blue Towels, out in force here. And what an atmosphere here in Pontiac, Michigan. That's all they've been talking about all week, this game between Tampa Bay and Detroit. And that is the end of the first quarter with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Bill Capice's 40-yard field goal leading the Detroit Lions 3-0.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, who invite you to see the completely redesigned 1982 Celica Supra at your local Toyota dealer. Oh, what a feeling to drive a Toyota. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
This is Dick Stockton and Johnny Morris here at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. The Detroit Lions trail Tampa Bay 3-0 as we start the second quarter.
And this, not only is the Silverdome electric, as you look at Eric Hipple, this city, they had a big bonfire downtown, a big, huge pep rally downtown Detroit.
And they've continued on into this day in this stadium. 3rd down, 17, 6 defensive backs for Detroit. Owens. Caught from behind. William Gay catches Owens from behind, so it'll be 4th down and an opportunity as we have Charlie Hanna shaken up. And now he's all right. Doug Williams helps him up. It'll be 4th down, and now we'll have the first chance for decent field position for one of these clubs, Johnny, as Larry Swider will have to punt from inside his 10-yard line.
And you have Robbie Martin back there, and he's a good punt returner in the fact that he'll get the ball and many times go straight ahead rather than head for the sidelines and dip back and lose yardage. He's a straight-ahead punt returner.
Swider will kick his second punt, and Robbie Martin, who has set a club record now for punt returns in a season. And Martin on the run. Could be a good return. Robbie Martin gets into Tampa Bay territory. The Bucs cover that well. Dana Knopfsiger makes the tackle, and he has been the special teams demon all season for Tampa Bay. A 37-yard punt and an 11-yard return. But when we come back here at the Silverdome, the Lions will have it 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of Tampa Bay. This is Monty Clark's 4th year in Detroit. He was a head coach in San Francisco and a brilliant offensive line coach in Miami when the Dolphins reigned.
And what I like about him, he's an offensive lineman who became a successful head coach, because offensive linemen usually don't make good head coaches.
Lions at Tampa Bay territory at the 48-yard line. Eric Hipple, the quarterback. Detroit hasn't done much on offense, and Eric going to the air. Freddie Scott has it, and a 1st down. So Eric Hipple finds Freddie Scott on the sidelines. And the leading receiver for the Detroit Lions coming into this game with 50 catches. He caught one for a touchdown last week.
And you can take a look at the Tampa Bay defense here as Scott goes down about 14 yards and comes back. Washington was playing way off, and he got deep enough that the linebackers weren't able to help except for make the tackle, and that was Hugh Green. He was deeper than the depth of the linebackers.
16-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the 32. 3-0 Tampa Bay. We're in the second quarter, first minute of play. And in motion, David Hill. Norris, the other tight end, also in there. And this ball is caught by Leonard Thompson out of bounds, and he picked up maybe 3 yards. So Leonard Thompson, who scored 2 touchdowns and is one to watch on those reverse plays, as Dexter Bussey comes in with the play, and going out is Vince Thompson. Thompson caught 4 passes last week, Leonard did, despite being riddled with the flu. Goes wide to the left. Bussey is the up back, 2nd and 4 at the 26. Hill in motion, and here's Billy Sims. First down and more. And what a hit Billy Sims made on Cecil Johnson as he knocked him back and gives the Lions another first down.
And Dexter Bussey threw a heck of a block too as the lead back down there. You can see the dump block there by Bollinger. Here comes 24 blocking on 34, Cedric Brown, and that allowed Sims to get to the outside and down the horn before he's finally knocked out of bounds by Selman and a host of Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here comes the block. You're going to see a block first by number 73, Keith Dorney. I should say Russ Bollinger. Then here comes David Hill, number 81, for his block, and here comes 24, Dexter Bussey on Cedric Brown for his block. So you saw 3 key blocks that allowed Sims to get around the
Scott
horn.
Hutchinson is in the game, defensive line. And Rick Kane, who's come in the ball game, gets to about the 11-yard line. To show you how tough the Lions' offensive line is, Billy Sims was out for 2 games with turf toe. Turned out to be a blessing, and in his absence, Rick Kane played against the Bears on that big Monday night game and gained over 100 yards.
Yeah, he had a big night, and Billy says that he thinks that one of the reasons that he's so strong this late in the season is that he was out for those couple of games, because he took a lot of punishment last year, game in and game out, and when you play on artificial surface a lot, it takes a lot out of you.
It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 11-yard line. The Lions trying to take the lead. Leonard Thompson goes wide left. In motion, Hill. And up the middle, Dexter Bussey for a couple of yards. The one thing Cecil Johnson told us last night, that he's not so much concerned to the outside run by the Lions because of the good speed of the linebackers on his club, but the quick traps and the quick openers up the middle.
And also, he's moved to the inside from outside linebacker. He doesn't like that so much, but he didn't have much choice because Hugh Green came along to play the outside. But he says, if they want me to play on the inside, I'll play there. But he doesn't like those tackles and guards hitting him from the side. He's not used to that.
You know, they both were at Pitt, and when Hugh Green came to Pitt, it was Cecil Johnson that took him around the campus. Now he took his job away, at least his position. Hipple rolling out. He's a threat. And Eric Hipple dives in. Touchdown. Eric Hipple has gone in for the touchdown, and that's the threat that Johnny Morris was talking about as Hipple goes in for his 7th touchdown rushing.
He showed some good speed. It was Cecil Johnson who was chasing him, and he really put on the speed to get away from him, and then he avoided Hugh Green, number 53, at the end. Let's take a look. There's 56 chasing Eric Hipple. You're going to see 53, Hugh Green, come over, and Hipple got away from the tackle. He dipped underneath of it. All he had to do was take a tap on the side of the head, and he'll do that anytime for a touchdown.
Ed Murray will attempt the conversion with Hipple holding. Last year, Eric Hipple didn't come in for a play, but he was the holder for Murray. And the Lions lead. The second leading scorer behind Raphael Septien in the National Football Conference has given the Detroit Lions a 7-3 lead with 12:21 remaining here in this second quarter. Eric Hipple, who can do a lot of things. I know the one thing you like about him is his ability to pass while he runs.
and the ability to run like he showed that time. But he is very quick on getting rid of the ball when he decides to pass.
6 plays, 48 yards. And Ed Murray kicking off. Owens and Holt are deep for Tampa Bay, and John Holt a yard in the end zone. And Holt is ridden out of bounds by Homer Elias. Four-yard return. There's the scoring drive with Hipple going 9 yards. His 7th touchdown rushing of the season. James Owens and James Wilder in the backfield now with 12:11 remaining in the first half. So the Buccaneers find themselves trailing now 7-3.
Well, Doug Williams is back in there, and we'll see how it goes.
Joe Ehrman makes the tackle, and there you see the aroused defense.
Doug English was in on that tackle, number 78. Great tackle. As the momentum seems to be carrying here, the people are getting more and more excited, and this is what John McKay was trying to hold down because the noise can be deafening. The buck stops here, it says. We'll have to find that out when the game is over.
2nd and 11 at the 22. Theo Bell wide to the left. Split right is Kevin House. Eckwood in and running back. Jimmy Giles in motion. Eckwood out of the backfield. And Williams is going to him, and it was almost picked off. And once again, Wayne Smith had a chance at an interception. And that pass was a dangerous pass. So now, it is 3rd and 11. Tampa Bay 1 for 4 third down conversions. We've already pointed out that they have the worst percentage in the league in that category.
The Lions haven't blitzed all that much so far in this game. They're a blitzing team. They'll bring a couple of safeties on 3rd and long situations, whereas a lot of teams will drop off. So Doug Williams has to keep that in mind as he drops back now to see what the Lions do. They have 47 sacks, as I mentioned.
Hector Crane and Luther Bradley secondary. James Owens goes wide out to the left. 3rd and 11. And they're going deep for Giles, and it's overthrown. Wayne Smith covering on the play. Incomplete to Giles. And it's 4th down, and Larry Swider will have to punt from deep in his own end once again.
Well, Wayne Smith, who hails from Chicago, is excited about that one. The way they run their zone, sometimes you get a cornerback covering a tight end, you got a good situation downfield.
So field position could be important once again. Robbie Martin is deep. There's Swider kicking. Robbie Martin, free agent rookie, and Larry Swider, who has been well traveled. Good kick by Swider, sends Martin way back inside the 20-yard line. And he's down at the 15. Brilliant play by John Holt, the 4th-round draft choice. A fine punt by Swider. A 59-yard kick and a return -4 yards by Robbie Martin. So what might have been outstanding field position for the Detroit Lions turns into an advantage for Tampa Bay, which trails 7-3. Story to 7-0 for the Lions here at the Silverdome. They got off to a slow start. Tampa Bay won 4 of their first 6. They settled down, and both clubs have been hot, with the Buccaneers winning 3 of their last 4 and the Lions 4 out of their last 5.
Of course, a big decision made by Monty Clark several weeks ago when the team was 2-4 and decided to go to Ari Kipple on Monday Night Football. You know, a national television game. He took the rookie and gave him his first start, and that turned it around for the Lions.
That was the start. 1st and 10 now at the 16. 2 tight ends in there. Hill and Ulysses Norris. And Norris Thomas, number 41, is in cornerback. Did not start for Tampa Bay, replacing Holt. Hill is in motion. Pressure on Hipple. And Hipple trying to find some room. And Richard Wood was the first to hit him. And then a whole bunch of Tampa Bay players, including Cecil Johnson, stopped him at the 15-yard line.
Well, that's the way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like to get a quarterback out there with everybody coming at him. It was Dave Stahls who really, I thought, gave him the big shot. As you look at the second quarter score, the Jets 7-3 over Green Bay.
Philadelphia leading St. Louis 14-0. The Eagles, of course, one wild card possibility. Kansas City, Minnesota, two teams that are disappointed. 3-3 in the first quarter of their game. Freddie Scott is back in action, and he's wide receiver out to the left, along with Leonard Thompson. 2nd and 11 at the 15. See how Tampa Bay plays the defense here. Hipple up the middle. Vince Thompson coming out of the backfield and gets up to the 20-yard line. He's short of a first down by a good 6 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 6, and Bussey will probably come in with the next play. There you're looking at Tampa Bay's defense, leading the National Football League in the fewest touchdowns. Now it's 26, as Bussey comes in with the play, and only 9 touchdown passes allowed this year.
Do you know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't have anybody that's been in the NFL for more than 7 years? I mean, that shows you how young that team is.
And they've already tasted the fruits of success. Detroit 2 for 4 in 3rd down conversions. It is 3rd and 6 now. And Eric Hipple fires, almost intercepted. That was Cedric Brown, who's been doing a lot of that. And Hipple says, I don't know what went wrong there, but Tampa Bay's defense all over the receivers. So it'll be 4th down. And Tom Spladany will come in and punt for the Lions. And we're looking at a possible good field position for Tampa Bay, as Monty Clark, who played 11 years with the 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cleveland Browns, 44 years old. So Spladany at the 5. Theo Bell is deep for Tampa Bay at the 37. Neil Colsey is the short man, but there's the deep man, Bell. 9:40 remaining in the first half. Bell at the 42. What a play. Vince Thompson, who won a job. They call it the Gong Show, and they invite all the cast-offs to a tryout, and Vince Thompson won a job, one of 2 Lions to do so, and he's made the most of it.
Yes, he put the gong on Bell that time, didn't he?
That's good. You were ready for that one.
Yeah.
9:32 to go in the half. The Lions are up 7-3.
From the Buccaneers 44.
The fans here in Detroit. Lion fans come from all over the state. And Pontiac has been the sports capital here, as Tampa Bay has a 1st and 10 on the 44. Owens carried 8 times for 17 yards. And once again, penalty marker is down, and the whistle, the play will not count. The play will not count on the pass to Owens. But one thing we have seen,
False start, offense.
false start 5 yards against Tampa Bay, and that is Buccaneers' strategy, obviously, pass on 1st down. They've done it every time.
Yes, I believe that's 4 out of 5 times they have thrown on 1st down. Let's get the penalty.
False start, number 75, offense, 1st down.
Buccaneers 1st and 15.
Called it on number 75, and Tampa Bay does not have a number 75. That might have been Hannah, as John McCabe, 16 years at USC. In motion is Owens to the outside. Wilder, the big fullback from Missouri, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be now
On the tackle for Detroit.
2nd and 10.
Dave Revis is in at left tackle for Charlie Hanna, and he is the man who committed that foul on the previous play. So Hanna must have been hurt bad enough that he wasn't able to come back in the game. As you look at a couple of Detroit Lion fans.
Hector Gray is in as a 6th back, and the middle linebacker Ken Fantetti goes out. 2nd down and a long 10 at the 44-yard line. Under 9 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter. 7-3. The Lions lead Tampa Bay. Kevin House can't hold on. He was there. Hector Gray defending on the play. So it'll be 3rd down. Doug Williams, who was a 1st-round draft choice out of Grambling in his 4th year. Only 2 players in the league active now have gained over 10,000 yards within 4 years of their career. Williams is one. Jim Zorn of Seattle is the other. So 6 defensive backs are in there for the Lions as the Eagles are rolling it up on the Cardinals 21-0 in the 2nd quarter. Detroit leading in the game. Tampa Bay Bay 1 for 5. Third down conversions, they go to the sprint formation. House in motion. Here they come. Williams gonna run it. And he gets to midfield, that's all. He'll be shy of 4 yards of the first down, and Luther Bradley. And Hector Gray came up to make the stop. Williams had a run, but he couldn't get the first down.
No blitz that time. He just had great reactions as Purifoy came slick and clean from the right side, and Williams spotted him, and Purifoy didn't get him, but he foiled the pass play, and Williams was forced to run, and he could not run far enough for the first down, then took his punishment. Down he went. The Buccaneers got a punt.
Larry Swider at the 35-yard line. Robbie Martin. Swider's last kick was a beauty, but Robbie Martin on the run at the 15. Does not get up to the 25-yard line. Jim Leonard makes the tackle for Tampa Bay. 7:52 remaining, second quarter. Bill Capice with a 40-yard field goal put Tampa Bay in front on a 13-play drive that consumed nearly 7 minutes. And then Hipple ran from 9 yards out here in the second quarter, and that's been our story. We'll return. Shows you the Tampa Bay frustration following their solid opening drive of the game. They came out of it with a field goal, but after that they haven't been able to do much. As you can see, 3 plays punt on 4 occasions. So the Lions have it, 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line, leading 7-3. Bussey and Sims, the backs, and it's Billy Sims. Dexter Bussey blocking. Billy Sims, it's a first down to the 39-yard line. David Logan came all the way out from nose tackle to make the stop following an 11-yard pickup for Billy Sims, who's doing better so far in this game than in the past.
Let's watch number 81, David Hill, as he comes out in front. You're going to see a block that he throws right there on the cornerback. Boom, he really knocked the heck out of Norris Thomas, and that was able, Billy Sims, to turn up the field and finally knock out of bounds. As you mentioned, Logan came all the way over from his nose guard position, but good block by David Hill.
Sims has averaged 6 yards a carry, which is double what he's done against Tampa Bay in the past. 1st and 10 at the 34 now, and a play action, and Hipple's pass is complete. Tight end David Hill, and another first down for Detroit. Cedric Brown was there, and so Hipple, with the ability to go from side to side, picks up the running plays and the pass here.
He had Andy Hawkins in a bind. At 59, Hawkins stuck his ground there and forced Hipple to do something, but there was Hill for the reception as Cedric Brown made the tackle, but it was a heck of a play by Hawkins. He was in a bind because Hipple had him one-on-one out there with the option of run or throw.
At the 45 now, Eric Hipple from Utah State. In his second year, Billy Sims cutting inside and is stopped short of midfield. But Billy picks up a good 5-yard chunk right there, and Cecil Johnson makes the tackle. So Billy Sims, who has not been 100%, has gone over the 100 mark 7 times this season. His 13 touchdowns rushing ties his own record set last year in his rookie season.
Sometimes 6 for 35 doesn't sound impressive. If you take 6 times 6, that's 36. That's all good 6 yards a pop.
As we said, he averaged 3-3 against Tampa Bay previously and hadn't done that well against them. 2nd and 6 at the 49. David Hill in motion. Quick opener. First down. So the Tampa Bay problem of having to stop the quick trap up the middle. And there you see an example of it. Vince Thompson, who's getting more and more playing time, and a first down inside the 40.
Watch Homer Elias, number 61. He's the left guard. He goes straight ahead on number 56, Cecil Johnson. Ties up Cecil Johnson just enough so that Sims can get through and make the big gain straight ahead.
Mike Washington and Cedric Brown stop Vince Thompson, and we have an injured player on the field.
Did I say Sims on that last one? Vince Thompson, but the key block was by Homer Elias, 61.
Tampa Bay player is hurt. These people are hitting. That may be Mike Washington. We'll check and see. It is Mike Washington. who went into this game perhaps as healthy as he's been all season. He has been riddled with aches and pains and all kinds of injuries. And veteran Mike Washington just getting up right now. I'll tell you one thing, you can see how Detroit is hitting as much on offense as in defense, because those running backs are knocking an aggressive Tampa Bay defense back on their heels, John.
And John McKay knows it right now that Detroit has kind of taken the initiative, and he's had a tough job to get a team up that last week had a chance to wrap up the division, lost to San Diego in the last second, and then have to face to come up to Detroit and play the Lions, where they have not been defeated this year. That's a tough job to get your team up. However, when you're playing for a title, you shouldn't have any problems getting up.
John Holt replaces Washington. Billy Sims slowed up, but not much. And Billy Sims close to another first down. Richard Wood makes the tackle. Billy Sims. Hugh Green almost got him behind the line of scrimmage. And on top of that, we have a penalty against Tampa Bay, and that will be a first down automatically.
At that time, Carl Baldwin and Homer Elias were out front, and Hugh Green took a little punishment. Let's check the penalty.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, number 54, defense, first down.
Richard Wood from USC. Can you pick it up?
There it is right there, the old grab of the face mask, twist the head, and down he went. And that costs you, because that is a no-no.
Rick Kane replaces Sims. Vince Thompson is the up back. First and 10 at the 25. Hipple under pressure finds Rick Kane, who's down quickly by Richard Wood, who has just called for the personal foul. And the ball is inside the 20-yard line. Rick Kane, who spells Billy Sims now.
Let's take a look at Rick Kane as the fake play action pass. He comes through the line, gets out of all the mess of the linemen, and there he was. And he's really going to take a hit from Wood high, right around the neck, and down he goes. Rick Kane, Richard Wood almost got another face mask right there on that play. Very close.
Rick Kane, 100 of those yards against the Chicago Bears on Monday night. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go, first half. Second and 4 at the 19.
Oh,
and hit immediately. Kane by David Logan, the nose tackle. And we are getting hitting on both ends now. As Sims comes back in the ball game, along with Ulysses Norris, it'll be 3rd and 1, and the two tight ends alignment coming in. Leroy Selman, Pro Bowl. A lot of people think that maybe this isn't the year he deserved. He did on reputation, I think.
Well, he played well when he was hurt, and part of it may have been reputation, but he still had a good year, not a great year that he's had in the past. 3rd down, 2 out of 5 for Detroit, 2 out of 4, I should say.
3rd and 1. Hipple to run for it. And he may have it to the 15. Let's see when they spot the ball. Andy Hawkins was the first to hit him there, short by the length of a football. It'll be 4th down. They place it now just outside the 15-yard line.
Eric Hipple has that uncanny knack to dip in under a tackle. That time he dipped under Norris Thomas, almost got clobbered right in the head. At the last second, just dipped right under it and got that extra half yard. It's going to be a tough situation right here, very close. And now the Lions are faced with a 4th down, a half a yard situation.
Lions are leading 7-3. They're going for it. Ronnie Clark. All of a sudden, they've gone from conservative to flamboyant in many ways. And the Lions, who are looking for their first divisional championship since 1957, can do it here today. There's a power eye on offense.
A beautiful swan dive by Billy Sims, who could probably win an Olympic gold medal in diving. He went up and over, and he had the ball out in front of him. That was the only danger part of this play. He's got the ball leaped out in front of him. Then he tucks it away and goes down. Great play by Billy Sims. Terrific athlete.
So the Lions are moving the ball, and while Hipple has been spreading it around, Billy Sims has been the key operative, because he has been stopped by Tampa Bay in the past, but not so far today. Two tight ends remain in there. Hill and Norris. Here's Sims. Out of bounds at about the 10. Pickup of close to 4. Mike Washington, who came out of the game and returned, knocked Sims out of bounds.
Boy, did Neil Colsey take some lumps that time. He had two guys on him. Sims dipped inside the block and took it down.
First downs, the Lions have 9 and Tampa Bay but 4. As Vince Thompson comes in with the play. Brad White, number 90, who was a 12th round draft choice and a rookie, has come in as a 4th down lineman. So a 4-man front now used by Tampa Bay. 2nd and 7. Hipple. Up the middle, Hill. Knocked away by Neil Colsey. Fine play by Neil Colsey. And Hill was looking for the flag. Not coming. And a fine play.
Colsey smelled that one coming, and actually this is really a good play by Hipple. He throws so well on the run. Once he makes his decision, he can get rid of the ball in a hurry, and he threw that ball, but Colsey just made a heck of a play because he was coming the same direction, tailed Hill, and knocked it down. So it's going to be a 3rd down passing situation. Good play by Colsey.
3rd and 7. Ball to the 10.
Now we'll have to see if they give Hipple another type of option. Roll him out so that he's got the runner pass option. Let's see what they do.
3:06 remaining in the first half. Lions lead it 7-3. Hipple intercepted. Cedric Brown. And it goes out of bounds. It was a free ball, and it is still Tampa Bay's ball as they pick up a few yards. So Cedric Brown with a big interception right there. His 8th of the season.
Well, you can say that one again. That was a big interception. Cedric Brown, who already has a team record of 7 interceptions, played outstanding football all year. In fact, I was talking to Tom Basfield that he should have been on the NFC Pro Bowl team. Let's take a look at number 34, Cedric Brown. As Hipple has time, he just throws into a bunch of traffic over the middle down near the goal line. There's a lot of people there, and Cedric Brown makes the interception, takes off, and then you can see the ball get loose, and it just heads for the sidelines and goes out of bounds before anybody can get control.
Owens and Wilder are the setbacks. Doug Williams 5 for 12 for 45 yards and been passing on first down almost every play. He's going up top for Kevin House, and Kevin House is off to the races. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Team record for Tampa Bay. And we told you about the big home run play. Williams to Kevin House, and they've done it again.
Okay, and it was the stop and go. First down pass, stop and go, and the Lions really went for it. It was Wayne Smith who really got faked out. And once House gets in the open, nobody's going to catch him. Olam doesn't have a chance, and it's a touchdown. And my, how this game has turned around. A moment ago, it looked like it could be 14-3 in favor of Detroit, and now it's 9-7 Tampa Bay.
John Madden describes Williams as a Russian roulette quarterback. He can go 0 for 11, and all of a sudden, he'll strike from the big play anywhere on the field, and he did it there. Bill Capi's conversion is good, and so, boy, is this place quiet.
Oh, it was. Now you're going to see Wayne Smith go for the fake. Watch, 10 yards, he'll make a stop. Boom! Up came Smith, 44. It was like 2 freight trains passing in the night, one going one way and Kevin House heading for the goal line, and Olam has no chance to catch House. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Doug Williams to House, and Tampa Bay has taken a 10-7 lead with 2 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the first half here. Kevin House from Southern Illinois had a baseball contract with the St. Louis Cardinals, and Lester Hayes, who was burned by House in the game earlier this year, said they told me he had 4.6 sprinter speed, but that was only in first gear. He can really put it on, and we saw a display of that right there.
And of course, when you have somebody who weighs 175 pounds, well, you know he's got to be quick, as Doug Williams really turned this game around with 1 throw and 1 good move. 2 people play with decent pass blocking, and all they needed was a little time, and they made it work.
Alvin Hall to the left, Robbie Martin to the right for the Lions. to the 32. John Holt makes the tackle. For Doug Williams, that is the 4th touchdown pass of 70 or more yards. And that's just this season alone. He told us yesterday, John, he says, everyone thinks I'm an old quarterback. They talk about the young quarterbacks around the league. I'm only 26 years old, but I'm never mentioned when they talk about the good young passers in the game.
That's right. I never thought about that. 4 years. It seems like he's been playing for a long time. He's gone through some rough moments in his first couple of years, ups and downs. He had a downer this year earlier, but he came back against Green Bay, and things turned around for the Buccaneers.
That's the story for them. 1st and 10 Lions now at the 33. Eric Hipple under pressure. He can run, and he is. Picks up 9 yards. Richard Wood put the seal on him, so that extra dimension that both of these quarterbacks have, and we saw it with Eric Hipple, who ran for the Lion touchdown earlier. Nice instinct by Hipple there. He saw that there were 4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he slid into second in perfect style to avoid the big hit. One thing we should mention about Hipple is that, you know, his interception rate's pretty high. Some great stats, but he will throw interceptions. He has a 5.8 percentage as you look at those fans. Boys, he turned this place on, and you know, the Lions with Danielson out, Jeff Comlow. Actually, it was in the first game against Tampa Bay that Hipple made his debut as we've had the 2-minute warning. He came in the latter part of the game, didn't do that well, but he's straightened out his act since then. You'd think Johnny McKay could smile there, wouldn't you? Maybe he will at the end. 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. The preceding message was furnished by the National Football League. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Detroit Lions and the National Football League is prohibited. So all or nothing in this game, and right now Tampa Bay on the big 84-yard touchdown pass. Williams to House leads it as you see the New York Jets have up their lead over Green Bay to 14-3 in one of the other important games going on this afternoon. 2nd and 1 at the 42, and a fumble. Hipple picks it up, and he's still on it. And the whistle blows as he's dumped for a loss. Cecil Johnson made the tackle just about to the original line of scrimmage. So Cecil Johnson, who was not even drafted in 1977, overlooked totally in the draft, and what a player. Yeah, he is something else, and he's one of those intimidators. As you look at Eric Hipple, was slightly injured. He's kind of, looks like his shoulder. He might have had some nerve damage up in the upper shoulder or muscle. The way he is walking tipped, that's usually a bad sign. Gary Danielson, who was the regular quarterback, has come in now, and the Lions have decided to call a timeout. So earlier, Doug Williams was racked up. He did not miss a play, but Eric Hipple is going to miss a play apparently here. And Gary Danielson, who was 5 for 7 last week for 107 yards and a touchdown, and maybe it was fortuitous that he got that activity against the Vikings. You're going to see something happen here. Billy Sims comes up to help out, and he stops Hipple from getting out of that jam up, and he got hit right there on the shoulder, and then the rest of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come in on as Andy Hawkins gets the hit on him, along with Cecil Johnson, number 56, and they bring him down. But I think it was on the original contact, I believe, or it could have been right there. Boy, David Logan, when you have 250 pounds ramming you right into the turf, that could have been the point of contact where Hipple hurt his shoulder. It could be a shoulder pointer, which is very painful at the top of the shoulder, but not a serious injury. But when something hurts, you know, it's hard to be effective. It's a good thing. You mentioned Danielson played last week. Now I know that Monty Clark is glad that he chose to get Danielson in at the end of the game so that he got some experience in playing, getting back to used to the old groove, because now he could become a very important factor in the rest of this game. Gary Danielson in at quarterback in his 5th year, signed as a free agent out of Purdue. It is 3rd down and 8 for the Lions. Penalty marker down. Play continues. Danielson's pass knocked away by Mike Washington and almost picked off. Billy Sims was the intended receiver. Let's listen to Jerry Markwright. It looked like Tampa Bay may have been offsides unless they were drawn off. You're right. That's the call. So the Lions were operating with a free play there, and the interception would have been to no avail.
Offside, number 63, defense, 3rd down.
Leroy Selman, so it is 3rd and short. That's just about where we were.
From the Detroit Colts.
a few minutes ago. Third down and a long two. Eric Hipple, 7 for 11 for 61 yards and 1 interception, as you see Selman. And Danielson in there now. Third, and he is decked. Andy Hawkins came in on one of the few blitzes that Tampa Bay engineers. Andy Hawkins, whose brother Mike wears the same number for the New England Patriots and plays the same position.
And he'll come from the right of your screen. Russ Bollinger, number 73, tried to get out there and help out on him, but he couldn't get there in time, and here came number 59 straight ahead. At least Danielson was able to see him to avoid getting clobbered even more.
Eric Hempel has a pinched nerve in his right shoulder, and they expect him to get back in the game as Tom Spladany will punt from the 17. Originally drafted by the Browns, couldn't come to contract agreement with them, and wound up here with the Lions, and the Lions are happy. Theo Bell deep. 23-yard line. Gets up to the 34. Vince Thompson makes the tackle. That sack, by the way, by Hawkins was Tampa Bay's 4th of the game. So Bell's returned 12 yards. That's how much time remains in the first half.
Be interested to find out whether that first play that Doug Williams called in the last scrimmage for the touchdown was an audible, because they're still throwing on first down against Detroit, and the best chance for a man-to-man situation, which they got with House and Wayne Smith, is on first down. So that's interesting, I think.
So do I. Owens and Wilder the backs. Williams, who's 6 for 13 right now, fired that ball down. No flag. He didn't really have to get rid of it that way.
He almost made it obvious that he was throwing the ball away, and the fans were expecting a call there, but the referee has to make a judgment on it. I think he felt that Williams wasn't that big a problem.
Coming up at halftime, Brendan Erb with scores and highlights, and also Jack Whitaker's Legends of the Game, featuring one of the great running backs of all time, Ollie Manson.
Ollie Manson, who once was traded for 11 players, right?
That's a whole team.
Yeah, and a trainer, too.
Second and 10 at the 35 with 39 seconds to go. Owens gets to the 35, and that's all. It'll be third down as we now have a half a minute remaining. Dave Purifoy makes the tackle. And getting up slowly, William Gay. Gay is shaken up.
39.
Gonna let the clock run down.
And
Final second.
Mr. McKay has decided to go to the locker room with a lead. He figured that's a pretty good deal when you're up here in the Silverdome.
Well, no one has won here other than the Honolulu Blue and Silver, the Detroit Lions, 7-0 at home. But we are halfway through this game with the score 10-7. That's the end of the first half. And if there was one thing to quiet this enthusiastic crowd of over 80,000, it was that big 84-yard touchdown strike from Doug Williams to Kevin House.
And it was a big play in the fact that it took Tampa Bay out of lethargy. They hadn't really been controlling this football game at all. Detroit had been controlling. And of course, the big interception down on the goal line prevented the Lions from taking that 14-3 lead. And it goes to show you what one play can do. One big play did it for Tampa.
Not for Detroit. Billy Sims gained 50 yards, so he is having a fine day. We have a lot of time to go in this game. A long way to go before it's decided. Halftime here at the Silverdome with the NFC Central title at stake. Tampa Bay leading Detroit 10-7. We're here at the Silverdome at halftime. Dick Stockton and Johnny Morris with Tampa Bay leading Detroit 10-7. The winner of this game will capture the NFC Central Division title and then play the Dallas Cowboys as we look at halftime statistics, John.
We see the Lions have the lead in first downs and rushing, but Tampa Bay with that one big play, 129 yards passing. Offensive plays were fairly even. Actually, the stats overall pretty even, but the score 10-7 in favor of Tampa Bay.
And the big play, John, 84 yards.
Yes, it was. The old stop and go, 10-yard stop and go, and Kevin House, once he gets open, nobody's going to catch him. A big play. He's caught 11 passes for more than 50 yards this year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he and Doug Williams have become quite a combination, haven't they?
Yeah. Bill Capece started it with a 40-yard field goal in the first quarter, and Tampa Bay with a 13-yard play drive. Looked like they were going to control the ball well with passes catches and runs, and then Billy Sims went to work. Hipple ran 9 yards for the touchdown, and it looked like the Lions, as you pointed out, had really taken the impetus away in this ball game, hitting harder than Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that interception by Cedric Brown was a big one. I think what the Lions have to remember now as they come back in the second half is not to try and go for the big plays to get back on top, because you don't make big plays against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What you do is you make drives down the field, and if you're trying to throw into all those 11 men down the field, you know, they drop off all those linebackers, you can get yourself in trouble, and then the first thing you know, the Lions would be down even further. So that's the way they have to approach it, I think.
All right, everyone talks about time of possession, and I'll show you what it means. In the second quarter, the Lions had it for 10 minutes and Tampa Bay for 4. But when you have that one big touchdown strike, as Tampa Bay did, it doesn't mean a thing. We're at halftime, and here at Pontiac, Michigan.
But the beauty of our culture is that it's a melting pot of all cultures.
Welcome back to New York, and the final weekend continues to roll along. The St. Louis Cardinals are just rolling over and playing dead for the Philadelphia Eagles. It is now 28-0. The Eagles are going to wrap up the home field advantage for the wild card game under Dick Vermeil. Herb, they got it going when Ron Jaworski went to Charlie Smith. And how about Billy Campfield?
Billy Campfield is one of these guys who's a very steady receiver coming out of the backfield. Number 37, watch him here, catches the ball, gets hit, and coughs it up. And the Cardinals' Calvin Favin recovers.
How about Wilbur Montgomery? What kind of a day is he having in that Philly cold?
Well, I tell you, when Wilbur Montgomery's healthy, there's not a better tailback in football. Spins there, breaks a tackle, 9 yards later, touchdown run.
Hey, Hubert Oliver gave Vermeil a big lift here.
Well, the rookie out of Arizona scored his very first NFL touchdown. He rambles in there. Watch that power he possesses. Short guy, 5'10", about 225 pounds, tough to bring down.
Herb, I think this play will show everyone how the Cardinals are playing.
Well, I don't really think they have the heart in it, Brent. O.J. Anderson coughs the ball up there with little effort. John Bunting, who's been injured most of the season with a variety of injuries, picks up the ball and sets up a scoring opportunity for his club.
They are at the half. Carmichael has scored on another pass from Jaworski, 28-0 at the half of that game. The Chicago Bears right now are derailing Denver. The Bears struck first on an Evans to Payton pass. It is now 14-3 as they follow up with a fake field goal. If the Broncos lose, they're not going to make the playoffs if the Chargers can beat the Raiders tomorrow night. Kansas City and Minnesota are deadlocked, a field goal apiece at the half. San Francisco and New Orleans are all even. The 49ers struck first. They're going for the best record in the league this year. Joe Montana pulls out, goes to tight end Charlie Young at the 11. He crashes 3 into the end zone. But then the Saints came back, and it was their talented rookie, George Rogers, who scored their touchdown. New England and Baltimore playing for the top draft choice next year. Patriots leading in the first quarter 7-3 over the Colts. And Tampa Bay and Detroit, the game you're enjoying here this afternoon. All the marbles up there on the table, and what a turnaround, Cedric Brown. But how about this sack here, Irv, of Doug Williams?
Boy, I tell you, the Lion defense has been just great all year long. Bill Gay takes him down and really rattles him.
Leroy Selman says turnabout is fair play, guys, and he came and got Eric Hipple on that play. Hipple's a very good runner, isn't he?
He has to take any time he gets inside that 10-yard line or so, he's always a threat to take off with it. He goes in there with a touchdown run.
Here is a guy who should be on the Pro Bowl team. What an injustice this is. How could the league overlook Cedric Brown? He has been dynamite on defense for John McKay. That interception set up this play, and Doug Williams calling an audible at the line of scrimmage. On the fly pattern, it is Kevin House, 84 yards, and the Buccaneers are back in business. And can they hold on in Detroit? What a second half that is going to be of that game there. 10-7 right now. And, of course, the other big game that is working, the New York Giants, needing a win by their crosstown rival Jets. And the Jets are all over the Green Bay Packers, 21-3. It started on 4th down of the first series of the game. The Packers were back to punt. Bad snap. Hunter ran, then got off a kick which was blocked by Al Washington, and that set up their first touchdown, and it came via this play. Kevin Long, who just did break the plane of the goal there. And then it was Todd looking for Lamb Jones, Irv.
Here's the key man for the Jets today, Brent. Lamb Jones has to have a big day. Todd goes back, hits him for his first score of the day.
But that one was called back because of the first holding penalty on Chris Ward. So then they were forced to regroup again. They went over the middle, and they hit the running back coming out of the backfield, Harper, and they kept on going from there. They were able to score on this 3-yard run, and then the play that Irv told you about, the key man, Lamb Jones, they kept it in their hip pocket. No holding call on this one. They go the distance for the home run, 47 yards now, and the Jets are rolling against the Green Bay Packers. And the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations. If you can take time out from making your list for Santa, what about a list of the greatest running backs in NFL history? But before you complete it, consider the often overlooked candidate Jack Whitaker looks at in Legends of the Game.
As a sprinter on the 1952 United States Olympic team, he won 2 medals, a silver and a bronze. As a professional football player, he was one of the most exciting ball carriers in the history of the game. His name is Ollie Matson. Ollie Matson was the most imposing physical specimen of his era, a 215-pound speedster who could challenge a tackler at the scrimmage line, then leave the entire defense grabbing air.
I think that my skills and my talent will stack up against the best. I could be going down the sideline, the opening, and the guys would be reaching. Acceleration, that's one thing that people don't really realize, you know. You can accelerate so fast, and the guy thinks he's got you, and he's just grabbing air. And this is what a lot of them would be doing. It means a lot to you when you do have the speed and know what to do with it. Now you see me, and now you don't.
In 1959, a historic 10-player deal sent Matson to the Los Angeles Rams. Matson was the only player the Rams received. In exchange, L.A. sent the Chicago Cardinals 9 players, nearly 1/3 their roster, for one extraordinary football player.
I was a complete football player. I could catch the ball, I could block, I could run the ball. In other words, they could use me almost any place they wanted me to. And of course, I've always said this, I was putting my stats up against anybody's stats. I would put my running ability up against anybody's running ability. And not just for me talking about it, but you go get the films. You look at it, you be the judge.
When football fans discuss the best running back of all time, they mention names such as Jim Brown, Gale Sayers, and O.J. Simpson. But one look at the old footage, and you can't help but feel that Ollie Matson deserves to be mentioned in the same conversation. In his 14th and final professional season, with his 4th team, the Philadelphia Eagles, he no longer could sprint the sideline uncontested, but he still could make men tackle his exhaust. He played his final season right here in Franklin Field with the Philadelphia Eagles in 1966. 6 years later, he was inducted into Pro Football's Hall of Fame, where he supposedly told a reporter, "I came along too soon. If I was playing today, I'd get so much money, I'd have to carry it in a shopping bag." And you know, he was probably right.
Irv, you mentioned another reason why Matson is not up there with the Browns and the Simpsons.
Yeah, he never played on a championship team. He was a tremendous running back, but because he was never on a world-beating team, people simply never thought of Ollie Matson as a great back, and he was super.
You played with him a year.
I did, yeah, in Philadelphia. He had a great game in Yankee Stadium in his 14th season. Timmy Brown went down with an injury. Ollie came in, ran for about 120 yards. It was a great day for him.
Oh, he was remarkable. And the NFL Today continues on CBS.
The second half kickoff, Tampa Bay leading Detroit 10-7. Bill Capice will be kicking off, and Eric Hipple will be back in action for the Detroit Lions. Alvin Hall and Robbie Martin are deep. And it's Martin at the 5. And Martin spins his way to the 34-yard line, and those Lion fans are looking for a Detroit rally here. Cedric Brown makes the stop as Eric Hipple comes back in action. Gary Danielson finished up the first half. And here's what happened to Eric that knocked him out of the game earlier.
It was on the play with the missed snap. He collided with Billy Sims trying to get out, and then he gets caught by Hawkins and Cecil Johnson, and it was Dave Logan, I think, who really put the hit on him that hurt him, as he'll drive him into the turf, and he's wound up with a pinched nerve in his shoulder. But when he was practicing before the half, he was able to throw.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line. Billy Sims can't go anywhere, and the aggressive linebacking, Scott Brandley, who is in action, who normally plays only in passing situations, combined to make the play. It'll be interesting to see the hitting going on here and who really takes the impetus. Detroit had it early, Tampa Bay kind of late. Buccaneers leading 10-7. They led 3-0 at the quarter early. And then in the second quarter, Hipple ran for 9 to make it 7-3 before the 84-yard touchdown. Second and 10 at the 34. And Hipple. Complete to Leonard Thompson. Stalls, hit Hipple, but Thompson makes the catch. And a first down in Tampa Bay territory at the 46.
An excellent play by Thompson, because you're going to see white jerseys all over the place. He goes deep enough to get in there and finds the lane, the linebackers. Washington is too deep to stop the play, and then there's 5 white jerseys all of a sudden right around him, but not before he got the first down. Good movement by number 39 Thompson as he found the little slot.
20-yard pickup, first and 10 at the 46-yard line. In motion, David Hill. The up back is Dexter Bussey. And here is Billy Sims. Sims to the 44-yard line. Picks up a couple of yards. Richard Wood, the linebacker, making the tackle. Dave Logan, a very important man who dominated last time these teams played, number 76.
And there you can see the block by the center right through there. He's got a block on Logan. That's Fowler blocking on Logan, who was spun around and really was not a factor in the play. Good blocking by Fowler, one-on-one on David Logan, 76. Good play.
Second and 9 at the 45. Hipple is 8 for 12 for 80 yards and 1 interception. Vince Thompson close to a first down. Look at the acceleration on Vince Thompson, a free agent rookie from Villanova, who earlier this year was not adept at picking up blitzers, so they didn't use him much. Now he's playing more and more as a messenger back. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the fullback of the future for this club.
Yes, he's big and strong, a big fullback that can meld very nicely with Billy Sims, and we had good blocking there in the middle of the line on that last one, didn't we? Boy, I tell you, they really moved us. Monty Clark, being a former offensive lineman, that's got to really get him excited.
He loves that line play.
He sure does.
Third and 1 at the 37. Forrest King is in action for the first time. And this is Billy Sims, who has a first down to the 31-yard line. And Richard Hood wrote him down. But Billy Sims is having a Billy Sims kind of day. He is the 3rd leading rusher in the National Football League with 1,361 yards. And has struggled against this team in the past, but not so much today. Gained 110 last week in a touchdown. Detroit now 3 of 9 in third down conversions. First and 10, ball to 30. Tampa Bay leading 10-7. Sims off the left tackle, picks up a few, and Richard Wood again in on the stop.
Dexter Bussey comes back out. Vince Thompson will come in with the play, and this obviously is an important drive for Detroit. Here is Billy Sims against the Bucs. 13 rushes for 61 yards. That comes out about, what, 4.5, 5 yards a pop. About 4.7, I guess, if my math, get my calculator. Where is it?
Well, if it's 4.7, that's what the Lions average for rush, leading the league. Second and 7 at the 27. Pitch goes to Thompson. Thompson off the right side. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Cedric Brown, who was a 12th round draft choice by the Oakland Raiders. And John McKay. Only Bear Bryant has won more national titles when they coached college than John McKay.
I'll give you a little bit of trivia. He averaged 6.1 yards per carry at the University of Oregon. John McKay is a running back.
Long time ago.
Yes, it was.
35 at the 25. Hipple Mike Washington puts the hit on Billy Sims, who catches his second ball of the day.
And that's what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do well. Billy Sims was feeling that hit. There's no question about it. Washington really came up and play action pass. Sims out of the backfield, takes the hit, takes the pass, and then here comes Washington with the hit. And boy, he hit him high and then right around the head, and Billy Sims obviously was stunned a little bit by that play, but he got the first down. Sims is tough to stop.
Lions 12 first downs, Tampa Bay 5. Freddie Scott, 87 in motion. Sims fumbles and then covers up at the 20-yard line.
Boy, that play would have gone big. He had Elias and Russ Bollinger right out front, and I think it was one of his own men. I think it might have been Bollinger, 73, who knocked the ball. As he lost it, then he made contact with somebody else's elbow. Billy Sims.
Other scores around the league. Chicago finishing strong, 21-3. Boy, do they have the number on AFC Western Division clubs.
Well, that's bad news for Denver as far as the playoffs.
That's right. San Francisco, New Orleans, 14-14. That can let San Diego back in the Derby. Second and 14 at the 20-yard line. 8:54 remaining third quarter. In a crowd, Hipple finds David Hill inside the 20-yard line. It'll be third down and about 8 yards, so a 3rd and 8. And a penalty flag is down, and that is the Lions' first penalty of the day, and they are the most penalized team in yardage in the NFC, but this is just the first of the afternoon for them.
That is ironic. They had 106 penalties coming in and didn't have one in the first half.
This is a tough one.
Holding number 76, offense, second down.
Carl Balderschweiler, left tackle.
If I was blocking on Leroy Selman, I'd hold every play.
Leroy Selman heading for the Pro Bowl. Penalty story. Spladany, Doug English, and Sims heading for the Pro Bowl for Detroit. Giles also will be going back for the second year in a row. The tight end from Tampa Bay. 2nd and 24. Hipple wants to get a chunk of that back. And it's incomplete. Leonard Thompson, the intended receiver. And a tough play for Thompson to make a catch on. I'll tell you, Tampa Bay will really punish you downfield. They'll give you certain plays and then hit you. Andy Hawkins, who was in on a blitz Red Dog earlier.
He's been in on a lot of plays. He has played a very good football game. There's Tom Bass. We were talking with him last night. He said, my boys came to play. And he makes his players hit. He teaches them to hit. He says, you got to hit in this game, and I guess he's right.
3rd and 24, the ball at the 30. Hipple, Dexter Bussey. And Bussey gets back perhaps to the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to help the Lions for the field goal situation. Cedric Brown makes the stop on Bussey. Hugh Green was in on the play today, and that's one name we haven't said very often this afternoon, is Hugh Green, that fine rookie linebacker from Pitt. So it'll be 4th down, and Ed Murray will come in to try to tie the ball game up. Murray kicked a field goal last week for the Lions. He is 24 for 33. He has kicked 2 50-yard field goals this year and a couple from 49. This is a 35-yard attempt with Hipple holding. And Murray's kick is no good. So Ed Murray normally is a sure shot on field goals from that distance, but he walks off shaking his head, and the Detroit Lions are still trailing. 7:48 remaining, third quarter, Tampa Bay in front.
Here's the replay of Murray's field goal attempt. The ball was tipped slightly, and it looks at this point it's going to make it, but it's got that hook on it, and it is definitely no good.
Murray now 10 for 14 in his second year from Halifax, Nova Scotia. And he and Spladany have given the Lions solid kicking, but not that time. 1st and 10 now for Tampa Bay at the 20-yard line. Theo Bell and House wide to the left. Owens goes to the right. And running on 1st down, Wilder tried to spin away and got nothing. Gary Cobb, linebacker, made the stop Gary Cobb from Southern California, former Dallas Cowboy #9 draft choice in his 3rd year, and replaced Charlie Weaver, and exceptionally good against the run as you look at the quarterback comparison so far in the game.
Williams' stats aren't as big as far as percentage, 6 of 14, but he's got that one big one, and so far that's the difference.
Owens, with 8 carries and 17 yards, has been the leading rusher for the Bucs. 2nd and 7 at the 23. And Williams to the right side, off the fingertips of Wilder, and Wayne Smith defending on the play. And we talk about how the Bucs are hitting the Lions. The other way has gone too, because Detroit's secondary really punishing some of those pass receivers for Tampa Bay.
And one thing that has become obvious is that the Lions have chosen not to blitz very much at all against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm sure it's because of their fast wide receivers and that strong arm of Doug Williams, that even though you have him under pressure, he can still get the ball downfield. But they have not safety blitzed him or done much in the way of any kind of blitzes so far today.
Tampa Bay is 1 for 6 on 3rd down plays. It's a 3rd and 7. Williams incomplete, going for Owens, and double covered, and covered well. Ray Oldham was right there on the play, and so it'll be 4th down, and James Owens from UCLA off the field, and Larry Swider will come in and punt for the Buccaneers, and the Lions will send back their ace to receive. Swider, who had been with the Cardinals, the Lions, and the Denver Broncos, and Robbie Martin, who is a rookie free agent. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. 10-7 in favor of Tampa Bay, and Robbie Martin at the 39. Oh, Robbie Martin to the 45, and Larry Swider, the punter, drives Martin out of bounds at the 37-yard line, and the best field position of the day for the Lions.
Returned one for a touchdown last week, continues where he left off. This time straight ahead, he dodged a couple of tackles, headed for the sidelines, and it was Swider who had to make the tackle. However, he was injured on the play. And did you notice how high he went on that tackle? He wanted to make sure that he didn't lose Robbie Martin. Larry Swider is down. It looked like maybe the wind had been knocked out of him.
Detroit, number 44, Tampa Bay. Both fouls were caused when the ball was dead. Penalties offset, 1st down.
Offsetting penalties by Alvin Hall was the Lions. And Billy Caesar, I believe, for Tampa Bay. Here's the end of that play as Swider on
number 9, right there. He goes up high to make sure the tackle takes him out of bounds, and here is where he got shook up a little bit. Down and around. He just isn't used to making tackles.
27-yard return, however, for Robbie Martin for the Lions.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Oldsmobile, who invite you to see the new 1982 Oldsmobile at your Olds dealer today. K-Care, where quality automotive parts and service are Kmart priced. And by Atari.
Capacity crowd at the Silverdome, waiting for the Lions to bust loose. 6:44 remaining in this 3rd quarter. Tampa Bay leading 10-7. Murray missed a field goal the last time the Lions had the ball, but now they have a great field position opportunity. 1st and 10 at the Tampa Bay 36.
And they're still going with quite a bit of a 2 tight end situation.
Ulysses Norris, number 80, is in there with Hill. Vince Thompson and Billy Sims, who has the ball. 3-yard gain by Sims off the left side. Hugh Green makes the tackle on Sims.
And another good block by David Hill. The fact that they've got those 2 tight ends in there, as you look at Eric Kippel's statistics, obviously they want to nullify that 3-4 pursuit. They have the 2 big tight ends in there, and they can run that stuff off tackle, up the middle with a little more power and authority. And I think that's the reason that they're showing more 2 tight ends situation.
60 yards for Billy Sims as Freddie Scott comes back in the game. Wide to the right, 2nd and 7, and Hipple. Dexter Bussey and Hugh Green and Mike Washington were both there. So a short pass play will be 3rd now and about 4.5 yards. Hugh Green, the rookie and the #1 draft choice by Tampa Bay. They were amazed that his name was still on the board when it came their turn to draft in the 1st round.
He has been super for them, and he was a down lineman in college, and he's made the linebacker transition, and he's just had a super year. He's an alternate for the Pro Bowl, I believe. I think he should have made it, but he's had a super year.
3rd and 4 at the 30. Thompson is into the backfield and Scott in motion. 3rd and 4, Hipple looking right and going for Leonard Thompson. Incomplete. The pass is incomplete, out of bounds.
And he is arguing because of the fact he was knocked out of bounds before he had a chance to come down with the ball. I think he might have a pretty good argument there. But you're looking at Freddie Scott there arguing along with Leonard Thompson.
Freddie Scott, of course, from Amherst, Massachusetts, is going to be a doctor.
It's the out and up by Thompson as Norris Thomas has got the short zone, then drops off. Now here, does he have a chance to come down with the ball before he's hit? No, he doesn't, and is knocked out of bounds, and that's the situation.
I don't think this angle tells us the right story.
But there has to be a judgment involved there.
47-yard attempt by Eddie Murray, who missed the 35-yarder moments ago. This kick is high enough. This kick is good. We have a tie game, 10-10. Eddie Murray on a 47-yard field goal, and he's back in the groove.
The expression on his face has changed a little bit in the last 5 minutes.
All right, we have a tie. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go, 3rd quarter here at the Silverdome. They're going wild. The official said he wouldn't have caught it even if he'd stayed in, John. What do you think?
I don't agree with it, but that's history now.
Eddie Murray with a 47-yarder to tie the game will be kicking off. Deep for Tampa Bay, Holt and Owen. 7 yards in the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Eddie Murray from Tulane in his 2nd year was a 7th-round draft choice, and his toe has meant so much to the Lions, has brought him back into a tie. We'll be back with 5:04 remaining in the 3rd.
Tampa Bay, 1st and 10.
It is entirely possible that the 3 words parents fear most are some assembly required. So we'd just like you to know that you can easily attach an exciting Atari home video game to your television set in under 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes. When you think about that, it's not surprising that Atari makes the world's most popular video game.
Largest crowd ever in the Silverdome, 80,444. Watching the Lions and the Bucks for the NFC Central Division Championship. The Lions with the rushing edge, as you see, Tampa Bay with the passing edge. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Owens and Wilder in the backs, and Wilder goes in motion. On the pitch, Owens. Hemmed in, breaks it, and James Owens picks up 8 yards or 9 yards on the play. There's a look at that great speed and acceleration of James Owens, who was moved up to the 2nd leading rusher for Tampa Bay, the tackle made by Stan White.
We have to give some credit to Charlie Hanna. He threw a nice block on Dave Purifoy to help allow that run to succeed. Philadelphia leads St. Louis 35-zip 3rd quarter. How about this? Chicago Bears over Denver, 21-10, 3rd quarter. Kansas City leads Minnesota, 3rd quarter.
2nd and 2. Fighting close, about a yard short is Owens, and Jimmy Allen makes the stop. Jimmy Allen coming up from safety position. former Pittsburgh Steeler, who has 9 interceptions for the Lions this year, the most since Dick LeBeau had 9 back in 1970.
He's a happy-go-lucky guy, and he believes in having a good time out there on that football field, and he likes it when he makes tackles like that. That makes him have a better time. He's a real happy-go-lucky guy, and he's going to be looking for James Owens.
Steve Furness is in a tackle. Tampa Bay only 1 of 7 on third down calls, and right now, Williams talking to Markwright. Keep in mind that the league sent a memo to all of the teams this week that it would be up to the coaches and the players to try to keep the crowd down and do their part to keep the crowd down from interfering with the visiting club.
And here at the Silverdome, the crowd, the reverberation is more than at most stadiums because the seats are very close to the field, very close, and it just echoes like mad.
Giles and Obradovich are twin tight ends. Third and less than a yard at the 29. And Williams takes it himself for the first down.
That was nice, wasn't it? He went right over the submarine. The Lions all submarine on the defensive line, and Williams just dove up over it. You're going to see those heads head right for the turf, so Williams says, I'm going up and over, and 57 Fantetti puts the hit on him, but it's way too late. He got the first down, Tampa Bay.
John McKay, sometimes he says things he wishes he hadn't said when he criticizes a player after the game, but the players know that you know where you stand with John McKay, and they respect him for that. First and 10 at the 31-yard line. Tampa Bay with the ball. 10-10 the score. Under 4 minutes to play, third period. Williams to the air to James Owens, who's hit immediately. And quite a hit put on there by Ray Oldham. And a penalty flag down at the line of scrimmage. Good play by Oldham, who played in the Super Bowl with Pittsburgh. And you can see from Stan White, it's a holding call against Tampa Bay. This could be where the crowd could be to the Lions' advantage in a tie game as we're approaching the final moments of this third quarter.
Well, one thing is that Doug Williams in the last 3 games has called more and more audibles, change of plays at the line of scrimmage. When you have a crowd like this has got to limit a quarterback.
Holding number 75, offense. First down.
That's Dave Revis. Yes, Tampa Bay has a 75.
Revis, who's had some knee problems and hasn't played all that much. He has played over the years for him a lot. John McKay is, I'm sure, concerned about the noise factor for his team.
First and 21. Back at the 20. Let's see if the Lions come in with a blitz, something they haven't done today. Gay almost jumped off sides, and Owens gets a hold. James Owens gets the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, the 30-yard line. Dave Purifoy makes the tackle. So an 11-yard pickup by Owens on a quick opener. And it'll be 2nd and 10 now for Tampa Bay in a far better spot than they were in.
And I think the confusion on the Detroit line with Gay there caused a little mix-up there, and they weren't set for the blocks, and it ended up being a huge hole for James Owens to go through as Monty Clark got to be a little itchy. It's been a big week for him, big week for the Detroit Lions. This is it for the city of Detroit right here, this game, and same thing for Tampa Bay.
Winding down to 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Owens in motion outside. Going to Theo Bell. Incomplete, he was out of bounds. Theo Bell was out of bounds. So it'll go as an incompleted pass. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Theo Bell from Pittsburgh.
He got to the outside of Hunter and deeper than Oldham, and he was in good position, but the ball brought him in there. He's won, and the crawl was correct. It was not complete inbounds.
Theo Bell came over from the Steelers, and last year Theo Bell led the AFC in average yards per catch. Kevin House led the NFC, so they got some big hitters out there at wide receiver. 3rd and 10. And Williams has an opening, and he's going for James Owens. And Owens falls down. Did he catch it? What an amazing catch by James Owens, who was down. He was on his back when he caught the ball. A phenomenal catch.
A super grab by James Owens. Luther Badley was on him. The pass was off the mark. Williams could have run for 20 yards, I think, on this play as he got out of the pocket there. But then he saw Owens downfield, tried to put it up and over, and it goes back. He has to turn his body back to the left, and he just makes a nice catch falling down. Oh, super.
35-yard play. And that quieted the Silverdome crowd somewhat, and Jerry Eckwood has replaced James Owens in the lineup. Theo Bell wide right, and Eckwood now moves back as the tailback. And Doug Williams doesn't like what he sees and calls a timeout. So Tampa Bay decides to use one of the 3 timeouts they have in the second half. 2:06 remaining, third quarter, and the game is tied 10-10. Capice field goal. First quarter, Hipple touchdown run, then Williams to House made it 10-7 before Murray's field goal time. Dick Stockton and Johnny Morris at the Silverdome. We're tied 10-10. Owens has rushed 36 yards, 10 carries, and there you're looking at the leading rusher, Billy Sims, for the Lions. Tampa Bay, the passing advantage. Detroit, the rushing advantage. First and 10 at the 39. Eckwood and Wilder, the backs. And in motion, Kevin House. Wilder out of the backfield. Can't get away from Ken Fantetti, but he manages to move to the 25-yard line, and it'll be close to a first down, short by a yard and a half.
There's where you see the vast improvement in Doug Williams. That time he looked for a primary receiver, secondary receiver, and Wilder was, I'm sure, the third receiver on that play. He looked, held his ground, took his options, and then hit the back out of the backfield. And that's what this football game is all about, or any football game. The quarterback has options, things that break on a timing basis, and he took his third option on that play.
Bonnie Clark said he used to look for the primary receiver, then take off. Now he looks for the second and third. Penalty marker down, and Eckwood off to the right side. Penalty flag down.
Offsides against the Lions.
Eckwood on the run. Penalty marker down.
William Gay may have jumped. He's been over anxious all day. Let's see if he is the culprit. As James Owens comes back in the lineup replacing Eckwood. And Purifoy back in there for the Lions. Second penalty. That's all for the Lions this afternoon.
Offside, number 79, defense, first down.
So it's a first down. William Gay on the sidelines. They're at the 20-yard line. First and 10 for Tampa Bay. House to the left, Theo Bell to the right. 1:18 to go, third quarter. James Owens head down inside the 15-yard line. Ray Oldham the tackle. Allen there too. James Owens.
Pretty good trap block in there. A very good trap block that you're going to see come by here as number 61 came across. That was Homer Elias to throw the block that opened up beautifully. Great trap blocking, cross blocking by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line.
Second and 4. That's Owens, the leading rusher today. Ball's at 14. Not this time. Owens is hit the line of scrimmage by Joe Ehrman. Joe Ehrman, who was out several games, former Baltimore Colt. In fact, there are 3 ex-Baltimore Colts on this defensive unit. Ehrman, Stan White, and Ray Oldham. And the Colts are playing today with a 1-14 record.
I think they're playing New England in the draft bowl. The one that loses that's going to get the first pick in the NFL draft.
What do they do with the tiebreaker there, John? That'll do it for the third quarter. So Tampa Bay on the march on the 16-yard line. Murray's three-pointer, the only points in this quarter, and that is the end of the third quarter with the score, Tampa Bay 10, Detroit 10. Well, the way it looks right now, it'll be the Giants in Philadelphia. Next week in the NFC wild card game, it'll all start with the NFL Today. Check your local listings. Philadelphia leading St. Louis, and the Jets are leading Green Bay. The Giants defeated Dallas in that exciting overtime game you saw on CBS yesterday. The NFC, as you know, dominated the AFC for the first time in a long, long time. And the Super Bowl will be played right here at the Silverdome, January 24th on CBS. But first things first, that wild card game coming up next Sunday. It'll be 3rd and 5. That's close. At the 15. Wilder, the lone setback. Owens moves outside. Williams has an opening. And he's out of bounds at the 13-yard line by Gary Cobb. So it'll be 4th down. Doug Williams rushing for 200 yards, and he leads NFC quarterbacks in rushing this season.
That time he got around the horn, got outside, and I think he made his decision to run just a little bit too late. He might have been able to get the first down. Cobb made a great tackle to prevent the first down, so they have a 4th and 1.5, and Tampa Bay has elected to go for the field goal. But Williams, you can't blame him. He's running out there trying to find receivers, but if he had made the decision to run a little sooner, he would have had the first down.
DePiece kicked a 49-yarder last week, but he missed an extra point. That was critical to Tampa Bay. A 30-yard attempt, Swider holding. And the kick is good, so Bill Capice has come through with his second field goal of the afternoon. 12 seconds gone by in this final quarter, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have regained the lead. We'll be back. Bill Capice was drafted on the 12th round by the Houston Oilers. He was cut, free agent rookie, came aboard late in September. Robbie Martin, also a free agent rookie, is back there with Alvin Hall. And Martin, a yard in the end zone. Robbie Martin, caught from behind. Jeff Delaney as Monty Clark tries to figure out what the Lions might do. Robbie Martin, 34-yard return. And slow getting up. The scoring drive by Tampa Bay, 68 yards in 11 plays. Capice with his second field goal, 13-10 in favor of Tampa Bay. And Martin is still down.
I'm sure what the coaches are trying to say to their players is that we have 1 quarter of football left to go. You've played 15 games. It's all down to 15 minutes. Here's where Martin got hurt.
We'll be back with more of the game after this word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. Radio Shack, a division of Tandy Corporation. And by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
The NFC Central Division title is on the line, and Monty Clark, an old offensive lineman, is a head coach. We don't see many of those around. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. In motion, Freddie Scott. Opening minute here. 4th and final quarter, and Hipple in trouble. And almost picked off. If Hawkins had gotten there to pick up the ball, he would have had clear sailing on the pass intended for Billy Sims. Over his head, incomplete, and that was a dangerous play, Johnny.
Yes, it was, but he was running for his life, and he had to throw on the run, and he missed him. If he had hit Sims, Sims would have had a chance to go for big yardage because Hawkins was the only man there if he could have put the dipsy-do on him. But pretty good pass rush. They forced him out of the pocket. The Buccaneers had Leonard Thompson covered well downfield. So Tampa Bay, they cover those deep passes pretty well.
Brad White, number 90, 12th round draft pick, replaces Dave Logan, a 12th round draft pick at nose tackle for Tampa Bay. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Vince Thompson. What a hard charging runner he beyond the 40, and a penalty flag is down. Andy Hawkins makes the tackle. Penalty down at the 35.
Wood and Johnson on the stop, and Hawkins.
That's against Detroit, and it'll hurt.
Yes, it does. Actually, kind of a nifty play because it was a delayed in run with Thompson, and it worked. It was kind of almost like a counter in run, and it was a heck of a play. But when you hold, you put yourself in a hole, and Tampa Bay's tough to beat when they got you on the long passing situations. And Tampa Bay's been going quite a bit with their three-man front, even on third down.
Holding number 20, offense, second down.
It was Billy Sims holding in the backfield. So that'll make it second now at 18 at the 24-yard line. The Lions have not won a division title since 1957, when they beat San Francisco in a playoff game to win the division. Leonard Thompson and Fred Scott wide to the left. They dump it off to Dexter Bussey. Bussey to the 30-yard line. And near the original line of scrimmage as Richard Wood made the tackle, and Tampa Bay hitting hard. Former Southern Cal Richard Wood, who has led this team in tackles every year but this year. Cecil Johnson leads. They call him Batman, and you can see why. He wears his heart on his sleeve, Johnny.
Yes. Why does he beat around the bush? Why didn't he really tell us?
Tampa Bay, a tough, hard-nosed defensive unit, and a young group. 13-10, the Bucs lead. 13-40, a lot of time remaining in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 10 for Eric Hipple. Selman putting pressure on Hipple, and the loose ball is picked up by Dave Logan, and Logan is in for the touchdown. Selman made it happen, and Logan carried it in for the touchdown, but Leroy did it.
Leroy Selman, number 63, is the man, and they're all going to spike that ball. Let me have it too, says Hugh Green. I want to spike that ball. It was Leroy Selman who got around ball to Schweider and came from the backside. Hipple never saw him. Hipple never saw him. Coming from the backside, look to the left of your screen. Here comes Selman. He hits him. The ball definitely is a fumble. He hadn't gone forward with his motion. A great bounce for Tampa Bay, and for Dave Logan carrying it one-handed into the end zone. He says, I got a touchdown.
And you know what? The same thing happened last year between these teams when Selman forced a fumble and Dave Logan picked it up for a touchdown. Bill Capice has added the point after. And so the biggest lead of the game right now is owned by the aroused Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And John McKay looks up at the clock, 13:28, and Tampa Bay leads by 10 in a quiet Silverdome in Pontiac. Well, you can be sure that the fans here in Pontiac have not come close to giving up. There's plenty of time left, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming through as they've had so many times this year with the big play on defense at Capice. Alvin Hall coming out with it, gets to the 15. We saw it in the New Orleans game, Johnny, and all season long the Buccaneers make the big interception, the big fumble recovery when it counts.
They certainly do. That's been their history. Tony Davis made a nice tackle there, and now the Detroit Lions are coming from a 10-point deficit against a Tampa Bay defense that has been tough all year in that kind of situation. They play that 3-4, which they've played even on third down today. They haven't taken Hugh Green out, and they haven't used the nickel all that much. So they're going to be dropping off. They're going to give the short stuff and figure they can lay out the rest of this game and hold Detroit back. We'll find out what happens.
Leonard Thompson wide left, Scott to the right. 1st and 10 at the 17 for Eric Hipple. Scott in motion. And here they go with a reverse to Leonard Thompson. Thompson cutting inside and is brought down by Brad White from behind. Brad White on a very alert play. Didn't go as wide as many of the reverses of the Lions, but White was equal to the task and stopped Leonard Thompson. White, a rookie from Tennessee, and picked on the 12th round, and Thompson wants a breather.
Usually that reverse works better for Detroit, but the Tampa Bay rush has gotten so deep they forced the reverse man to turn upfield way before he wants to. So John McKay, he's nervous, but he knows that I wonder if he thought he'd be in this position in the fourth quarter yesterday.
Mark Nichols, rookie, first-round draft pick who's been injury plagued, number 86, is in there now for Thompson. Hill is in motion, and on the pitch, Billy Sims. First down for Billy Sims. Loose ball, but I believe the whistle blew. Billy Sims, tackled by Andy Hawkins, as Norris Thomas thought he was off to the races again.
Let's take a look at Billy Sims. A nice leap here as he'll go over a bunch of blockers. Number 73 is Bollinger, the right tackle. He makes a nice block. There's the lead block. There's Keith Dorney, 70, with his block. And up and over goes Billy Sims, the tackle by Hawkins from behind. He strips the ball. And I'll tell you, Norris Thomas was there for alertly to pick it up, but the official was right there, ruled him down.
First and 10 at the 31. Hipple 12 for 19 for 114 yards and a play action. And Hipple has Sims. Another first down, Detroit, to the 41-yard line. Andy Hawkins again. And Sims is a workhorse this afternoon.
It may not seem that important right now, but Sims made such a nifty little play with a little dipsy-do with these 2 feet to avoid the head-on collision with Hawkins and just get that extra yard or two that he needed for the first down. It could become a very big play.
And the Lions are very patient here. They know they have 11 and a half minutes to go as Monty Clark checks the clock. 2 tight ends, Norris and Hill. Sims for the 3rd straight play. Gets to the 46-47-yard line, and a flag is down.
And look at Eric Hipple, number 17. He was right there leading the way.
Penalty marker is down as Eric Hipple, trying to engineer one of those big comebacks. He has added so much spark to this Detroit Lions club. Here's Mark Wright.
We have 2 personal fouls, unnecessary roughness. 76, Tampa Bay, Detroit. 56, Tampa Bay, penalties, dead ball. Discount both fouls. Second down.
Aldous Weiler and Cecil Johnson. We knew Cecil Johnson was primed for this game yesterday.
He was ready. There's Amos Fowler, who was back in the game, who was injured early, number 65.
Monty Clark coached San Francisco and almost brought them to a division championship and has an opportunity here, but the Lions will have to come from behind with 11:19 to go. Sims has gained 74 yards and 17 carries. Rolling out, left, Hipple, finding Hill. David Hill gives the Lions another first down. Cecil Johnson, the tackle, at the 41. Well, Johnny, they give him the under, but how much of the underpass can they give him?
Well, that time they brought Hipple out in the same situation. Hugh Green had him 1 for 1, and if Hugh Green doesn't cover this way, then Hipple takes off and runs, and he has an option with David Hill coming across the field. It was behind him. A good grab by Hill to get the first down for Detroit. And you are right, they're doing a lot of running on this drive. They don't seem to be panicked. They know that they still have 10 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game.
13-yard pickup on the pass to Hill. Pitch to Billy Sims. Sims picks up 3 or 4 yards. Brad White, the nose tackle again.
David Hill threw another good block. David Hill has really blocked today. That time he really dumped David Lewis, who was in the ball game, number 57. There's Brad White. And there is Hill, who has had a heck of a game blocking.
David Hill is the veteran, and since Hipple has been in there, has figured more in deep plays. Remember the Dallas game in their critical drive? David Hill was a key figure. Under 10 minutes to play. 2nd and 7 at the 38. Dexter Bussey. First down inside the 30.
And I said David Hill blocked. You'll see this play. You'll see number 81 throw another great block, straight ahead power blocking for Mr. Bussey. Heck of a block by David Hill. Watch him in motion, number 81. Now he goes through the hole first. There's the block. That's what you call blocking by a tight end, as he took Cecil Johnson, bounced him backwards, and allowed Bussey to get through the hole and make the big gain for the Lions.
You know, we asked Dexter Bussey how he feels, knowing he's the leading all-time rusher, and Sims is right behind him. He says, at least I've had that honor for quite a while. Vince Thompson. And now the Lions have found a flaw, perhaps. They've been able to run effectively up the middle in this drive, keeping the ball on the ground, short passes, but mostly runs. And Vince Thompson from Villanova, the rookie free agent, picks up a big chunk there as Bussey comes in with the play.
They wound up with almost 7 yards on that play. It looked like it was, didn't look like it had much to it, but he bounced off the crease and got a few extra yards. The Lions on the move at the 22.5.
A quiet 7, we call it. 2nd and 3 at the 22. Dexter Bussey, first down to the 15.
If Amos Fowler couldn't get his block to center, he had some help from David Hill in motion, almost jammed up the play, and it was 81. David Hill helped out on Logan. You're going to see 65, the center, blocking on 76. Now here comes 81. He says, I'll give you some help, and he just lays on the pile, and then a good running back will play off it, and Bussey takes it down for another first down for Detroit.
Key for the Lions here. They did not panic. They have a 1st and 10 on the 16 with under 8 minutes to play. And Logan came across the line, and apparently that'll be against Tampa Bay. Or let's wait.
We'll have to see the decision. Logan didn't act like it wasn't his fault.
Defensive encroachment.
He looked guilty, didn't he? He just had that guilty look.
There he is. Doesn't he look guilty? Tell you, David Logan, the big play of this game, 21 yards with a fumble created by Leroy Selman here in the 4th quarter. Bill Capice with a field goal earlier. It was 10-10 going into this final quarter when Tampa Bay scored 10 points. So it's 1st and 5 now at the 10-yard line. First downs is no contest. The Lions have 17, Tampa Bay 8. In motion, David Hill. Billy Sims cutting against the grain and thrown for a loss. And Hugh Green with his best defensive play of this game.
That was one time that it didn't work. What they've been trying to do is go against the grain because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pursue. Their linebackers are so fast. Watch the flow of the action, and you're going to see Sims is planning on cutting back here. He's planning on cutting back. Everybody's shifting right, and he's cutting back against the grain. But this time, Hugh Green, number 53, stayed home just long enough to prevent Sims from getting the yards out to the left.
As they said about Green, some are bigger, few are quicker, but no one anticipates better than Hugh Green, and he showed it there. 2nd and 7. Pickle going for the money. Intercepted. It's an interception by Cedric Brown. Off the hands of Freddie Scott. And Brown has made his 2nd interception of the game. A big one for the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Eric Hipple put it right on the money to Freddie Scott in the end zone. It was right in the breadbasket, bounced right out of his hands into Cedric Brown's hands. And I'll tell you what, that can take the steam out of a football, too. Here he comes. That's right. Here comes number 87, down to the inside, gets the inside position on Norris Thomas, then just takes off. Hipple waits for him to clear, throws the ball, and it is there, folks. It is there. And there's Cedric Brown, 34 for the interception. Tampa Bay's ball. Cedric Brown with his 8th interception of the football season. He even holds it up before he hits the ground.
Maybe his 9th. I think that's the 2nd one today.
2nd one today. That would give him 9.
9 interceptions for Cedric Brown, veteran of the Oakland Raiders. Holsey and Brown. And some of the fans who made their way up from the warm climates of Tampa Bay. I don't know how warm it is. I heard it was in the 30s in southern Florida today.
Well, there's a Tampa Bay fan. They could be Detroit people who switched. They wouldn't switch now, would they?
Monty Clark shows the story on his face as clear as you could imagine. And the fans show their feelings there. The Tampa Bay fans. At stake here is Tampa Bay 1st and 10 of the 20. And there's the big story, the turnovers. And the pitch to Owens. Owens breaks one tackle and picks up 9 yards before Jimmy Allen makes the tackle. So the fumble by Eric Hipple, caused by Selman, and run in for the touchdown by Logan. And the 2 interceptions by Cedric Brown. And that's how much time separates the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from their second NFC Central Division championship in 6 years of existence as an expansion team. Truly amazing. And Monty Clark's face tells it.
I think that first play was indicative. They got 9 yards on the first play when the Lions know they have to stop them on the ground.
House and Bell wide right. 2nd and 1. Owens has the first down. So that all goes to Tampa Bay's credit to use up the clock. Around the league, the Jets in the 4th quarter leading Green Bay 21-3. Philadelphia over St. Louis in a big one.
And the Chicago Bears over Denver 28-17. That would be 4 straight victories for the Bears over AFC West teams. Kansas City beat Minnesota leading Minnesota 10-6. New Orleans, San Francisco tied in the 3rd quarter.
Keep in mind the NFC wild card next Sunday on CBS very likely will be the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles at Veterans Stadium. James Wilder, power back. Gets to the 38. Jimmy Allen, the tackle. Good chunk of yardage by Wilder as the clock continues to run. Less than 5.5 remaining. So Wilder from Missouri and Owens been the best backfield tandem for Tampa Bay. Keep in mind, you can follow the Super Bowl trail all the way on CBS, beginning with that wild card game next Sunday. Then the playoffs, the NFC Championship game, and Super Bowl 16 here at Pontiac. All on CBS. 2nd down 4. Owens in motion. And Wilder. 1st down, Wilder. And another nail in the Detroit coffin. Gary Cobb makes the tackle. And so Tampa Bay picking up the 1st down. And the despondent Detroit bench.
Sometimes a picture can say 1,000 words, and that's now we go to the other side of the field, and
they're not taking anything for granted, though.
No, they are not. John McKay on the threshold of making a great comeback from last season after winning the title in '79. 4:21 left, the clock is rolling, and another 1st down for Tampa Bay.
Ball at the 46. Tampa Bay leading by 10, 20-10. Eckwood, who replaced Owens, gets to the 49-yard line. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, Mike Wallace interviews Nancy Reagan. And for the first time, the Polish government tells its story of the crisis in that country. That's tonight on CBS. The Lions 7-0 in the Silver Dome this year. They had won 9 in a row dating back to last year and 13 of their last 15. Hadn't been in a divisional champion since 1957. And here it's slipping away from them. Tampa Bay coming on after a slow start. 2nd and 7. Wilder burst forward and may have the 1st down. His forward progress may be good for the 1st down as Jimmy Allen makes the tackle. And are they chewing it up now?
Yes, some determined running, but the Lions are missing some tackles back there at the line of scrimmage. They're a little sloppy on their tackles, and of all times not to be, that and the combination of good running. There, as you look at Eric Hipple, obviously hoping that the Lions can get the ball back. His wife is expecting a baby momentarily. As a matter of fact, his wife, Jen, and right now he's not thinking about that. I would imagine he's got just a few minutes left in this game to get this team back in there.
A long time for the Lions, and, you know, nothing would have been better for this community, Pontiac, Michigan, which perhaps exemplifies the problems that the nation is experiencing as far as the economy is concerned, with the auto industry centered here. And I know the people are just so excited about the Lions and wanted this thing so much.
Well, that's true. They're going to be disappointed, but somebody, as we said, it's the American way. Somebody's got to lose. There's going to be a lot of happy people down in Tampa Bay, and they work hard too.
1st and 10 at the 43, under 3 minutes now to play. Keeping the ball on the ground, avoiding mistakes, James Owens. And not only is Tampa Bay keeping the ball on the ground, but they're picking up 6, 7, 8 yards at a clip as Curtis Green takes the play there. And now the Lions have called their 1st timeout of this final half.
Ray Schnell, you're looking at Schnell there, number 72. He's been pulling out on some of these end runs and just throwing some super blocks.
So Williams goes to the sidelines, and it's all working for Tampa Bay right now, thanks to an opportunistic defense. We'll be back. You know, while we have a moment, we would like to congratulate our field technical manager, Walter Pyle, for winning an Emmy for technical accomplishment during last year's NFC Championship game here on CBS. His award was one of 11 Emmys won by CBS Sports this year, more than any other network. And of course, as usual, we always want to congratulate our technical people who work so hard behind the scenes, and a special kudo for Walter Pyle. 2nd and 4 at the 37-yard line, 2:47 to go, and here's Wilder. It'll be 3rd and about 3 now. Wilder stopped by Dave Purifoy. So John McKay, and we have to go back to the Denver loss prior to the game against the Green Bay Packers, when McKay decided he was going to take the pressure off Doug Williams, bring Bill Nelson down to the sidelines, let him call more audibles, and put in more of the running game.
That was certainly one of the keys, and I think a key has also been John McKay's ability to resist influence or pressure to change quarterbacks or whatever. He's always had complete confidence from the ownership, and Mr. Culverhouse has let him run the show the way he's wanted, and he showed some consistency, went with Doug Williams all the way, and it's paying off, because I think Doug Williams has blossomed as a quarterback in a lot of little things. It takes a few years.
Next Sunday, the playoffs begin, and the action is on CBS Sports. Now, through the Super Bowl, stay with the winners, the NFL on CBS Sports.
Well, that's our score. What's happening in the Jets-Packers game?
It's now Jets 28-3, so the Packers are not going to be in the playoffs. The New York Jets will be.
Jerry Eckwood in for Owens, along with Wilder. 3rd and 3 at the 36. James Wilder will not have the first down. William Gay makes the tackle. The Lions, who called the timeout on the previous play, have called another one right now, and they have exhausted their timeouts. They have none left with 2:31 to go. Eric Hipple, what can he be thinking of now? The Lions had a 7-3 lead. The big play on offense and defense for Tampa Bay told the story.
Seems like he's almost thinking about something else. Isn't it the look on his face? But you know he's not. As you look at Doug Williams talking with the coaches of Tampa Bay, everything going good for them right now.
You know, the Bucs won that division championship in their 4th year. And then last year they were 5-10-1. Everyone thought that they caught lightning in a bottle, and it was a one-shot flash. That's why this year was so important for Tampa Bay, the way they've come back.
And they are going to go for it at 4th and 1.
Detroit has no more timeouts, which is a big edge, of course, for Tampa Bay with a 10-point lead. Williams carrying, and he's not going to make it. So the clock is going to stop on the changeover on possession. Dave Purifoy made the stop on Williams. With 2:26 to go, they will have a break at the 2-minute warning. And it's an unusual call. What do you think?
I think it was an unusual call, but if it worked, it'd have been a great call. Actually, Wilder got the block on Stan White there, but it was Purifoy who made the great play. I don't know, 1.5 yards, you roll your quarterback out. It seems like your percentages are better somewhere else.
I don't know whether he's a Tampa Bay fan saying they should have just gone for it, or a Detroit fan talking about earlier events.
They sure gave the Lions good field position.
At the 38, 3 wide receivers, including Tracy Porter, who caught a touchdown pass last week. And this pass is caught by Scott, Fred Scott. Now, there are no timeouts left by the Lions, and they're going to have to keep with 11 guys, I'm sure, on the field. This one. 15-yard pickup. They got to go for some sideline patterns. In the middle, caught again by Freddie Scott. And the 2-minute warning is here. The Lions have not been snuffed out yet. It's a first down at the 22-yard line. And the 2-minute warning is upon us. So Freddie Scott, who saw a ball pop in and out of his hands on what was a sure touchdown, And a tough play for Detroit has come back with 2 big plays. And the Lions go into the 2-minute warning, trailing by 10. Well, the Lions have a patent on pulling out 11th hour heroics. They've done it several times, especially at home here in the Silverdome this year. 2 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. 3 wide receivers again with Tracy Porter, number 89. Keep in mind, the Lions have exhausted their timeout allotment.
Well, that was Homer Elias. I believe the left guard moved a little bit too soon, and it's going to be 5 yards. And the Lions may be able to pull this one out, but they're going to have to be a Houdini to do it because they have no timeouts. That's really critical. If they do score, they won't be able to stop the clock. Unless they make a successful onside kick, they won't be able to stop the clock on Tampa Bay.
Number 61, offense.
You're absolutely right. It was Homer Elias, but that's true. They've got to score and score fast, then make good on an onside kick and move the ball down without the benefit of a time. It could happen. You can stop the clock with passes. Kipple dumps it off.
Oh.
It's caught by Billy Sims off of Freddie Scott's hand. And the Lions quickly line up. We have seen a couple of freak plays today. James Owens flat on his back with a reception. Sims off of Scott's fingertips. And this one will stop the clock with 1:32 to go. Kipple, 17 for 25 now.
Well, definitely a break went Detroit's way that time as Sims looked up and says, "Look, Mom, look what I got, a football." And that time, his last play, Norris Thomas could have had an interception if he had turned around. The ball came right at him. As Eric Kipple now has got to get the Lions in there quickly because time is such a big factor with no timeouts. In fact, if they don't recover if they do score, if they don't recover the onside kick, they haven't got a chance to get the ball back.
Johnny, if you're Tampa Bay, are you talking on the sidelines now about receiving the onside kick?
No, I think they'll have time after a touchdown if they score.
Kipple into the end zone, incomplete. And there was a receiver wide open, Leonard Thompson. Cedric Brown was nowhere near him. And Thompson was open, but he slipped and fell as the ball was off to the right. Stops the clock with that much time remaining. It'll be 3rd down.
Tough play for Hipple because he's running left at a full gait and has to throw it back the other way to a man that's running to the right. And that is very difficult to lead him properly, and it was way behind him as John McKay strolls the sidelines. Monty Clark knows that this is where it is right now. Just a minute and 26 possibly left in the entire football season.
That's really what it comes down to. And I think they're holding their breaths in Tampa. Kipple fires. Leonard Thompson. 1:21 remaining. And the Lions can bring it to 3. Tampa Bay's lead now. 20-16 on a pass to Leonard Thompson. 1:21 to go, and the whole game may be up to that onside kick by the Lions. That could tell it.
Nice play by Eric Kipple on the run, running to his left. He's choosing to run left, even though he's a right-handed thrower. Thompson with the little hook, turnaround, touchdown. Now here's a big one.
Eddie Murray, not a good snap. They fumbled it, but the kick is good. They were fortunate there.
Oh, yes, because Hibble shoveled the ball momentarily. And here's the touchdown, as you're going to see Hibble rolling out. He rolls left. There's Leonard Thompson in the end zone. Leaps up, makes sure he catches it in the basket. Touchdown, Detroit.
Crowd in front of the bench going wild for the Lions.
Thinking we're going to get the people up front that can handle the ball well to receive this kickoff. People who won't fumble. They'll take the linemen out, bring in some backs and defensive backs.
And of course, you have to be thinking of the gamble by Tampa Bay on 4th down to go for it with 4th and a little more than a yard because the Lions used up only a minute and 5 seconds to go 62 yards for that touchdown. So it's all right in front of it. Murray, the kick. Tampa Bay says their best ball handlers and receivers are up there. Whose ball? You'll hear a roar if it's Detroit. But it's not. It's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Can you imagine? The whole season comes down on a pile-up on an onside kick.
And that was really close. The Lions almost got the ball. Almost got the ball. It almost appeared somebody touched it before it went the 10 yards, but Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the ball, and this man has had to have breathed a big, big sigh of relief. Come on, John McKay, can you smile? Here it is. Let's watch the ball. He did not touch it. Now it is up for grabs. Everybody leaps up for it there, and
Theo Bell.
Was it Theo Bell who got it? It's hard to say who got it, but there was one Lion who almost had it.
No more timeouts for the Lions. This was the big play as Williams. And the clock will tick off. Next week, the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Wild Card game, preceded by the NFL Today. And that will start the march to the Super Bowl. Philadelphia and the Giants, they split their 2 games this year. They are the wild card teams, and the Giants in postseason for the first time since 1963. Eagles Super Bowl finalists, lost to Oakland last year, trying to get it this time. But here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won their second NFC Central title if they hold on to the ball, and there they're going to take the 5-yard penalty for delay of the game with 41 seconds to go. And tremendous credit has to be given to Tampa Bay.
One of the Lions reached across the line of scrimmage and knocked the ball. We'll have to see if that could be the call.
Tonight on CBS starts with 60 Minutes. Then it's Archie Bunker's Place, followed by One Day at a Time, Alice, the Jeffersons, and Trapper John, M.D. It's all tonight on CBS.
There was a call against the Lions. Somebody in the interior line reached across and tried to bat the ball away from the center, from Wilson.
Disappointment for Monty Clark. A lot of people thought it was automatic for the Lions playing at the Silverdome. 7-0 at home. Why not 8? Big plays by Tampa Bay. And on offense, the man at the bottom of that pile, Doug Williams, the big play. Only one big play on offense. An 84-yard touchdown pass to Kevin House, and that was the big score on offense. On defense, well, 2 interceptions by Cedric Brown, a big fumble, and a recovery by Logan, and a happy Tampa Bay Buccaneer team marches off the field. They're going to the playoffs. They're the champions of the NFC Central. So Tampa Bay will play the Dallas Cowboys in one of the playoff games. But next Sunday, it'll be the Eagles and the Giants in Philadelphia on CBS in the NFC Wild Card. The executive producer of NFL football is Terry O'Neill. Senior producer is Charles H. Milton III. Today's game was produced by Ed Gorin and directed by Andy Kindle. And the rest of our production and technical people, a fine job. So the air let out of the balloon here in Detroit, Pontiac, Michigan, as Tampa Bay, using defense as their base, used it well today.
And as you said, a couple of the big plays did it. That was it. It's been a great season for Detroit, but it's better for Tampa Bay.
All right, this is Dick Stockton for Johnny Marr saying so long from the Pontiac Silverdome. The final score again, Tampa Bay 20, Detroit 17. Be sure to join us Christmas Day when CBS Sports brings you a football-basketball doubleheader. Johnny will be at the Blue-Gray All-Star Football Classic, and I'll be in Phoenix with Bill Russell for exciting NBA action as the Phoenix Suns take on the Los Angeles Lakers. It's all live on CBS Sports starting at 12:30 Eastern Time. NFL playoffs begin next Sunday with the NFL Today and the NFC Wild Card game here on CBS, the Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants. Right now, let's go to New York and join Brent Musburger. after this word from your local station.